Hey, everybody. All right. We are ready to go with another stunningly effortless and error-free episode of Alien RPG here on Slices and Dices. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all for joining us once again. We've got some awesome stuff going on, and I hope that you're gonna hang out and watch it. Sorry, we started a little late. We started at like 10 o'clock. We normally start around 9, but hey, life finds a way. So I think that it's important that we all just sort of just roll with it. How's everybody doing tonight? Doing all right?
Absolutely.
Great.
Superb. I like the way we did things last time, where we just tell everybody about ourselves at the beginning, and then at the end we just close and just go to freaking black. And I think, considering that we're going to have a shorter episode anyway tonight, I think we might as well just get the ablutions, as they say, out of the way. So why don't we just start off with that? Sarah, you're over here. You start. Sarah, where can you be found on the internets, and what do you have stuff going? Tell us.
Right here on Slices. Hi, I am Sarah. You can find me as Lovely Llama on various social medias when I bother to interact with them. Also on our Discord, various and sundry other Discords. But most importantly, you can find me here on Slices and Dices most Fridays, some Thursdays, sometimes on Sundays when we're feeling frisky, playing RPGs of every flavor and making a fool of myself in the best way possible.
Nice. All accurate, all true. Thank you, Sarah. Moving clockwise downwards, that is Patrick. Patrick, tell us about yourself. Tell us, do you like long walks on the beach? Where can you be found on the internet?
Yes, I like long walks on the beach and full bottles of whiskey. Old enough to drink themselves, please. This is a rough economy, and I deserve the best. You can find me on Instagram and occasionally on the other sources at Pat Marin. I really don't do much on Twitter or X, maybe after the next coup. And you can find out about the independent whiskey tastings I do separate from my full-time job as a whiskey professor at barrover.com, which is the only place you'll find me if I'm not on this camera screen.
And it is a good place to see him. Well done. Thank you so much, Patrick. Moving again clockwise around the ring, that is Ben, who's directly below me. Hi, Ben. Ben, where can you be found up on the internet?
Well, I'm Ironhead454 on our Discord. And you can also find me, same name, on TikTok, where I make fun of my pets and irritate my children and, show off dice and 3D printing.
And awesome 3D printing, so much so. Some of the stuff that you have 3D printed and either shown on your channel or been so kind as to give or gift to me or to other people, just such quality, such good shit. Want to see more? Definitely. Thank you, Ben.
Do that.
To Ben's left is his amazing and wonderful partner, and that is Julie. Julie, please tell us a little bit about yourself and where you can be found upon the internet.
Hi, I'm Julie. You can find me. I'm Tritz Norris on Discord. My home Discord channel is Slices and Dices. Got few others that I like to hang out on, and that's really it social media wise, because honestly I'd rather hang out with my family here. It's much more peaceful, and I play all kinds of various games and annoy my husband with random accents that make him twitch, and this is really the only place I can do it and get away with it, so I enjoy that.
Nice. I enjoy.
I will retaliate.
Yeah, but you can't do it on stream and stay in character. So
she's got you there. She's got you there, man. She's got you there. Just after stream. Yes. You know, nice little talk after. I know that feeling. Dang it, Beavis. And then, of course, to my direct left on screen, this gentleman right here, who I'm pointing to with the magnificent style, the man whose name needs no mentioning, but I will mention it nonetheless, and that is Marcus. Marcus, where can you be found upon the internet?
Roughly once a month as Beardy Beardface here and on Discord, and also Facebook and Instagram, NYC Cooper, although not much interaction, but I'm there. You can find me.
You're giving them an opening. I'm just saying it right now, Marcus. You really are.
I know. I know. I shouldn't. I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Good, fantastic. And that's it, except for me. And guys, I'm Matt, and I help to sort of do shit here. That literally is on my card, which has not been printed. It says I do shit here. Take it for what you will. I think that what's important is that we all get to do things in our life that we enjoy. This being one of them for many of the people here you see on screen and elsewhere. And I think it should be for you as well. So I think that you guys need to take the time out of this very, very hectic world in which we live to enjoy yourselves, have fun with your friends, escape a little bit if you will, and find a good story to wrap yourself around. That's it. Let's get started, shall we? This is the Lost Worlds Alien RPG. Great system. Couldn't do this stuff without our amazing sponsor. So I'm just going to make them a quick mention. Into the AM, awesome gear, awesome wear. I'll just say awesome wear. Yeah, there it is. Boop, awesome wear. Into the AM, great shirts. If you look, Patrick's pointing to his awesome. I can't stop saying awesome. Into the AM shirt, which has like, what is that? Is that the Kraken one, dude?
This is the Kraken wrapped around the barrel.
Dude, that's so
nice.
My kid has one. He loves it. They don't shrink. They're stretchy. They're soft.
Comfy.
They're so
I gotta get one.
So comfy.
Dude,
I'm very jealous.
we have this great deal with them and have had for a while where if you just go ahead and it'll pop up on Twitch, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the link and stuff. It gives you a discount. Right? Who wants to pay full price for shit nowadays? I hardly have money for anything full price. So let's just go ahead and use the discounts where we find them. Go onto the into the AM website, use our discount code, and you will be able to get a discount on the awesome stuff that they have there. Second sponsor, of course, is Monument Studios. Their music and their sound effects, I just can't live without. I can't live without Monument Sound. I will not sing their jingle. That is not going to happen.
They have one?
Well, now they do.
You're welcome.
Yes, exactly. I will be expecting the check in the mail, Monument Studios. Thanks so much. No, they have some really great, just vibrant sound effects and music library to use with so many different role-playing game systems. You gotta check them out. And they have a really great deal where you can subscribe as well. You can subscribe and just the hits keep on coming with them, right? They just keep on pushing shit out. So you don't have to be like, well, I'm done. Okay, I'm done with all the music I need. No, trust me, you really don't.
You never do.
You never do. Your players will listen, be like, oh yeah, I remember that this is the cool music from like 4 sessions ago. I'm just gonna bop along with it and not pay attention to anything that's going on in the game. You don't want that, right? You want them to be like, damn, where's this music coming from? This is hitting me with a vibe. And it does. And the sound effects come with it. Subscribe. Give yourself that gift of the discount, which you'll get with the doobly-doo below, as well as in the Twitch chat. And hit them up for some awesome sounds for your games. Last but not least, well, second to last but not least, is the provider of maps for this particular campaign, and that is Jasper Nilsson Siren, who runs a Patreon called Siren's Maps. Jasper, we love you. We want more of your shit, and we know that it is coming. But you will see that the maps that come with most of these games are they're pretty basic, which is great, but which fills out for imagination's purposes. But Jasper doesn't like basic. He likes detail, and he supplies it in the absolute utmost. So go ahead and check them out. Go to patreon.com/SirensMaps, and you can download a bazillion different types of maps for a bazillion types of games. And then last but not least is our friend Ryan, who runs a store called Grom's Bag of Holding. Is it Grog? Wait, sorry, let me check. I think it's Grog. Grums. Thank you. I always fucking mispronounce it. Grom's Bag of Holding. Which produces dice. Does anyone have the dice except me? Ooh, look, it's these nice dice. They are so crisp, they are so sharp, they are so juicy. They roll like goddamn champs. So you will see their Discord also pop up in the doobly-doo in chat. They are a wonderful sponsor of the channel. Yay! Oh, you got the nice one, Sarah.
Nice.
And it does have the Slice and Dice logo on it, which is great.
Yep.
It always
Zeke
looks
dice,
so cool.
black and hot pink.
Oh, dude, that's hot.
I'm so glad I
Yeah.
got the Power Rangers Billy. Like the blue and gold is a really good color combo.
Nice.
Blue and gold is dope.
I
Cool.
got these ones that are like bronze and gold and has like gold flakes in them. It's just like,
Ryan is such an artist when it comes to dice. Like, I love
Yeah,
dice. Don't
he
get me
is.
wrong. I'm not like a dice hoarder, but geez, when you get the
I
right
am.
dice, they feel such a good, nice part of you, and you're like, I can sleep now.
Even an epic fail feels right.
You're like, and that one, and I'm smiling. Yay.
Hey, don't forget the
Some-
merch shop.
Yes, you can go to merch. We haven't had a lot like of people come to our merch shop, but if you want to buy shit like what Ben is proudly showing with our
Nice.
wonderful Alien RPG Slices and Dices logo on it, you can go to streamlabs.com/slices and dices. I believe that's our
awesome,
link,
Ben.
and get some Slices and Dices merch. A little bit of it comes back to us, which is great. Thank you very much for the support in advance. But to be honest, the real support comes from the people who just hang out on our Discord. I can't say much more than thank you and thank you and thank you for all the people, and I'm going to put it in chat, to come and hang on our Discord. So give it a little click to our Discord, say hi, introduce yourself, and trust me, there are plenty of very, very kind, loving, knowledgeable, fun people on our Discord. We don't like assholes, and we don't accept them on our Discord, so check us out. Okay. I'm done with my BS spiels. Let's get into the fucking game, because we don't have a hell of a lot of time. We're in Bat Country.
Either in game or in real life.
Exactly. So let's get with the recap, shall we? All right, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. Here we go. I give you a recap music. Go. Hopefully, you guys can hear that a bit. It's a little bit low. Let me bring it up.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go. Now we're cooking gas. Okay, here's the recap. Previously on the Lost Worlds, you five, of course, are colonists. All of you on the Great Mother mission, a mission to recolonize the so-called lost colonies that Earth has not had contact with for over a century. Your ship is called the USCSS Solovetsky Island, which now orbits around one of these lost colony worlds, known as KOI 2650.01 or Gorham Colony. The five of you went down to the planet's surface and were unable to find any signs of life in the arid, inhospitable landscape. After a time of searching, you spotted a single solitary mining facility on the outskirts of a vast cliffside known as Tontus Ravine. You were not alone. You were asked to bring along ICC Inspector Tan Blatchman, a sort of nosy, reedy individual who seems only in the intricacies of bureaucracy and checking boxes. Doesn't seem like quite your type. But, nevertheless, accompanied you to this facility, and when you arrived, you met two families that seemed to reside within this facility. The Parkses and the Marinos. And from the start, honestly, you sensed tension between these two families. Individually, they have made comments to you of a long-standing feud that has existed between them since violence erupted between these two families a generation or so back. You noted that both families actually wish to return to Earth with you. But you also note that they are intending to return without the other. Actually, after a century of harsh weather and violence from indigenous alien life forms, it's clear that there's very little left on Gorham, except for maybe a handful of pendlantite mines and rusted equipment. One of the alien organisms aforementioned is something called a harvester, which was brought to this planet and kept in a kennel nearby to use to hollow out the various pendlantite mine shafts. One of them, I believe his name was Hubie? Am I wrong with that? Did I get that right?
Herbie?
Herbie, thank you. Herbie.
It's Herbie.
It is Herbie, you are correct.
Herbie.
They've named him Herbie.
The love bug.
Yes.
I don't think there's much love in that bug.
That is very likely. Is still restrained and under duress, or was at least, anyway, when you first met it, Dot. You also note that there is a nearby Bison-class vessel, which seemed to have belonged to these families when they first arrived. It is now derelict, its computers completely scrubbed of its navigation data by a group of raiders that appeared on this planet about a year ago, and then summarily disappeared. Now, I mentioned weather patterns. One of these dust storms that seems to be encircling the planet has appeared to you in a absolutely titanic form, as if from nowhere. And the Marinos and Parks scrambled to secure the facility, while unfortunately your SEV, your scientific exploration vehicle or vessel, took off to safety in a low orbit. While you were there, the storm absolutely ravaged the facility. It destroyed buildings, it collapsed the water tanks, and began to flood the basement. All of the Marinos, except one of them, Danny, the youngest, fled and instructed you to flee to the shelter in that basement. But Violet Parks, who you know may have some kind of relationship with Danny, freaked out because she did not see Danny arrive in the shelter after all of you congregated there. So she attempted to open the storm hatch, but Benny Marino held her back. Sorry, Benny Parks, I beg your pardon, held her back, and Morgan, her husband, sealed the hatch. And in a rage, Violet just outright punched Morgan in the face. Violet then explained that Danny Marino was indeed her lover. And to your outright surprise, Morgan admitted that he actually knew, and he'd known for a long time. Eventually, the storm subsided, and you escaped the shelter to the basement, realizing that it had absolutely been flooded, wherein, unfortunately, several nasty, leggy snakes, that's right, that's what they're called, attacked you all. You fended them off and dredged yourselves through the murky water to another room within the basement called the Vault, where you obtained additional armaments, as well as the long data disk, which is the sort of black box of the entire colony, which is needed in each world that you go to back at the colony ship. Eventually, you ascended back to the main level and found that Herbie the Harvester is free and on the loose. And that also the facility's power has completely, shorted out from damage from the storm. And as you searched around for anything remaining, you heard Violet's hysterical scream from outside. You ran to find out what the matter was, and found, instead, Violet standing over the dead body of Danny Marino. That is where we begin tonight.
Oh.
And
Okay.
also remember that my buddy Benny had bloody hands earlier, but no cuts.
That's true. That is very true. So, I'm going to go ahead and move everybody now to, or I should say move our chat to the screen where y'all can be seen. Which is here. Okay. And let me shift. There we go. Cool. And you guys are, I think except for Clark, you guys are all right about here.
Yeah, I was inside at the end. I had just asked.
Oh,
Benny
that's
what
very
was
true.
Going on.
Right.
I think the three of us are in here, and then Chesterton and
Savage and,
Savage
yeah,
are
Savage
outside.
saw it. That's correct.
And I failed all my perception checks to look for blood inside this apartment, I believe, if I recall correctly.
Fair enough. We've just had immediately. We've had a redemption from Dragon 001300A. Great name. Thanks for making me say it. And that is giving a PC a random piece of gear for 3,000 points. For whomst? Thank you, Miss Deadite. Who would you like to give this piece of gear to, Dragon? Savage. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Excellent choice.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you.
So, Ben, please go ahead and roll a D. I think it's a D10. Let me double check. I want to make sure because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Tables. It is a D8. We've narrowed it
D8.
down. It is no longer D10. It is now a D8.
It's
They
going to be
removed
drugs.
the candy bar.
I did. Too many candy bars. Okay. Let me find that table. Is that rolls on a separate table? Go ahead and roll a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll a D10.
Roll a d10.
Mm-hmm. A 5. Oh, God damn it, Ben. This is
Definitely?
hilarious. No, it's
Candy bar?
It's a candy bar.
There we go.
It is indeed a candy bar. That is. I could not have planned that any better.
Perfect.
You rolled on the food and drink table, and then you rolled a 5, which is a candy bar, which is so funny. So yeah, you do see, in fact, a candy bar lying on the ground next to. Let me double check I have this correct. Next to a bloody wrench.
Next to a bloody wrench. Alrighty then.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming the candy bar does not have blood on it.
You do not see blood on the candy bar, which is a great title for an awesome ska band.
Right. All right. I will pocket the candy bar, and I don't know. Let's see. Everybody's inside, aren't they?
Mostly, yeah. You don't see anyone else except Violet and the dead body of Danny.
Okay. Hey Doc, where you at? Come on out here. He's our smarty pants, so.
Paging Dr. Clark, white courtesy phone.
I don't know why I'm not with everybody else. I don't remember what I was doing in this room.
I think you had
To be
gone
perfectly
into
honest.
medical, right? You were in
Yeah.
the control block. You went into medical. If I remember correctly, you went in, you found a couple of items in here, including med kits and stuff like that. You found this auto dock here.
I was also on drugs,
Well, that is a very good point. You were also on drugs.
but I think those are worn off by now.
I would hope so. Otherwise, give me some.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way into to join the group,
All right.
which I am trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm under the distinct impression that we need to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you came into this room.
Is there any type of console, like computer console, or any interactive technology in this room?
This is a living room. So what you see is like a couch. You see a small coffee table, a chair. Nothing console-wise in this room. No.
Okay. Clark is gonna kind of address the room and say, we need to find a communications device and try to get a signal out to the ship to come back immediately for evacuation.
Yeah, no shit, Doc. But the problem is, to do that, we got to get up to the comm towers.
Go
And
ahead.
the power's out. And the power out means the security grid is down, which means that everything on this planet that wants to kill us can now come and try to kill us. Not least of which is, I don't know, the giant everything eating worm that's currently on the loose. So yeah, we need to get off this planet, but we're also totally fucked. Awesome.
I think we should have a counter during this campaign for how many times people say that.
We're fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Just want to like
Just
keep.
don't turn it into a drinking game. I don't want to be responsible for anyone's death.
I was just about to say it'll make a great drinking game.
Responsibly, everyone.
This is not
Do
the
it with-
Boondock Saints drinking game.
That is
Don't
very
do
true.
it.
Oh,
That
God.
game will kill you.
Yes. It looks like we've had another redemption from Maeve Climber for a random piece of gear for Dot. Dot, roll a d8,
Aw,
please.
thanks.
Did she find something in the couch cushions?
We shall.
Probably.
Let's see. I'm dying to find
8.
out.
Is it
Okay.
a candy bar?
It is not a candy bar with an 8. I can tell you that for certain. It is. Oh wow! Roll a d2.
Why you do that?
What the shit? That's amazing. I don't know how. Oh yeah, this makes a lot of sense actually. Remember that each of these individuals had shotguns when you first met them, correct?
Mm-hmm.
In the couch cushion, you find a round for a shotgun that's called a Kip baton round,
Okay.
which is a not. It is a round that basically it's not a penetrating slug. It basically just shocks the body into a state of sort of paralysis almost, like you would with a stun baton. So it's like a rubber bullet, essentially.
Of my people who are in this room, who is carrying a shotgun? I know Bella Rose has one. Does Bo have one?
I don't remember. I don't think. No, I think I had the wrench and.
If you don't have it in your character
Because
sheet,
remember we
chances are-
raided the armory, so I didn't remember who
Mhm.
else. Because somebody took a
rifle.
shotgun.
Yeah, the
You
storm
took the
rifle.
storm rifle.
Yeah, the big old gun.
Did Chesterton take a gun, or did we decide that was a bad idea?
I have a bolt gun.
You have a bolt gun. All right.
The closest thing to a gun without actually being a gun.
So she sees this round. She knows she can't fire it. She knows Bella can. She puts it in her pocket.
Cool. Okay.
So do we still got everybody on comms, or are we no comms? I guess we.
Yeah, we have our localized
Correct.
comms. We just can't communicate off planet.
That's correct.
Without getting to a comm tower.
Guys, I got a dead body and a bloody wrench outside.
Say what?
Colonel Mustard
She's fucking crap.
in the library.
Right?
Nearly drowned, and now
Uh,
we're dealing with this.
Been
Dot
mostly
is
dead
just-
all day.
Dot is just staring at Benny right now.
Hmm?
Like, with daggers in her eyes.
So,
Sounds like
She'll-
we all need
she'll
to go
kinda- she'll-
outside, children. She says that, and the children part she aims at the boy, not at you, by the way. But she's looking at you like, I'm not leaving the two of you in here alone together.
Oh, well.
Not
Dot's kind of.
be-
Yeah. Now, Dot, player Sarah understands. Dot rolls her eyes, like, kind of stands up, brushes her hands off on the outside of her suit, looks up at Benny and says, "Looks like there's a dead body outside. Wonder how that happens."
Benny says
And then
nothing.
she's just gonna like push past him
Mm-hmm.
and make her way out.
Okay.
Which way do I have to go to get where they are?
Yeah, there's a doorway actually closer to Clark. Here.
Oh, there is one down here? Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Then she doesn't push past him. She just like stops here, delivers that, and then just walks out.
I guess I'm also gonna follow, just stunned and confused about it. There's so much stuff going on here.
There really is.
Why can't we all get along? Is the sandstorm is still going on? Yes or no?
The sandstorm is not going on any longer, but it is still extremely arid and impossible to breathe without your suits outside. The sand is whipping around your helmets.
Can I do some type of observation check to see if there's any kind of alternative potential for alternative power? Like, are there any like broken down solar panels or like any batteries or something anywhere that I could maybe like rig something up to get a signal out once we get to?
So let me get into that in a second. I did want to mention that we did get a third redemption from his Deadite for Tucker.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Tucker, I think maybe you find this on the way out.
Oh, damn.
So hit me with a D8, please.
D8. 4.
It's a 4. And here we go. And then a D10.
Sure. Deuce.
Okay. As you walk through the hall of this small enclosure, this pod, shall we call it, to get to the outside, you spy something sort of like left, maybe 3 or 4 inches long. It's cylindrical, made of metal, on the sort of like just on the side of the wall there, as if discarded. And you pick it up, and it says "Never Sleep" on it.
Ooh.
Thank you.
I got those too.
Yeah, "Never Sleep."
And those are quarter weight, right?
Yes, they are. That's correct.
I am still under encumbrance if I end up going towards the radio tower repair.
Noted.
for speed.
Noted. So let me answer.
One cylinder?
Yeah, just one. Let me answer Clark's question about how, if in any way Clark would know that to restore power, right? As you sort of scan the horizon around the Tontus Ravine, you note that there are, and I'm going to sort of bring us very quickly to the Tontus Ravine map, just briefly, just so we can sort of see what it looks like, right? First of all, you guys are about here on the map, right? Mm-hmm. Right next to the Merino house and the control block. You've come outside and that's where you found them, right? The entire north section of the control block has been absolutely collapsed by the destruction of the water tanks, which was in turn caused by, you estimate, because you see a giant like divot that's been dug along the ground from the storm's release of Herbie. You look over to the kennel. The kennel's roof has absolutely collapsed inward. The walls of the kennel, which you sought some kind of refuge in very briefly, Dot, with Benny. All the walls are completely just demolished and destroyed. So those two buildings, like the water tank and the kennel, gone. Interior of the Parks house on the north side, gone. The power seems to be resident from 2 places. One, there is a host of solar panels, which you saw on the way in. As you flew in and landed near the Bison, you noted that there are solar panels right here. If the storm were to have, say, coated these solar panels with dust, they would not be giving any power through the field nodes to any place in the facility. You also note that when you were down in the basement, there was some kind of massive reactor, which was blocked up. So at one point, perhaps this facility was using like nuclear power or a simulacrum of it, in a very smaller sense, to fuel the facility in general. But I think that they probably turned a little bit more green, so to speak, in recent years. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Dot kind of walks over and checks out Benny's body. Or not Benny,
Danny's body. Okay. I will say... What should I do for this? Let me think about this for a second. Yeah. Let's go ahead and... as you look at it, at the body... First of all, he's been scoured by dust. And as you sort of bend down to look at his body, you see that all of his face, like the skin has been flayed off. So you get an additional stress level, Dot.
Jesus Christ.
So not the McCoys.
So what kind does it, like, yeah, I guess that's the question. She's kind of looking at him and she sees this horrifying thing, but does it look like it was done by
Great question.
a human or maybe a leggy snake?
Right. The good thing that, well, the reason why you've asked that, and I think the thing that we'll answer is that he also has a severe head wound. So his face just gone, right? Flayed off by the sand. But you see that just massive gout of blood that has just distended from his skull, which is now sort of splatted on the ground next to him.
She kind of looks at it, stands up, does like a little shudder, but also she worked in a mining colony. Like she's seen a lot of nasty injuries before.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of looks at it, like she looks at his head and she looks up and she goes, well, something cracked him real good. I mean, those winds were crazy, but could they have lifted something up and blown it at his head that hard? Kind of seems like a precision strike to me.
Dot, I think that when you say something cracked his skull real good, I think that sort of reflexively everyone in the area looks at Benny's body and sees his face, and according to Zynarth, who has just redeemed add a stress point to everyone gets an additional stress point.
Wait, I get a second one on top of the one I
That
just
is
took?
correct.
Damn!
It just got interesting.
You really want... Chat wants to kill the kid. I see.
Chat wants someone to die.
Tonight, someone dies of stress, I guess.
It
Tonight
might as well be
we
the
die.
precocious 14-year-old.
Might as well.
All right, so let me bring you guys back. Now that you sort of have a lay of the land, let me know if you guys need to bring this back, but I'm going to bring you back to the main map in case you guys want to do something.
Listen, I am unsure what the prerequisite time to grieve is, but I believe that time has come and gone, and we need to be on our way. Now, some of us have weapons, and those of you that do probably should go first, but we need to make our way towards the solar arrays, the field nodes. We need to try to get power online. We need to get out of here. So, shall we?
Makes sense. Let's go.
Do I recall correctly from the last session that the ramp that we would have driven Trina up is toast, or am I making that up?
So the ramp that you would have driven Trina up to the bison is not toast, but then again the bison is further away than on the rest of the facility, right? It's
a
where
ramp
you guys
to take-
landed.
Is there a ramp we can take Trina up to get to comms and the solar field?
So that's the problem. Let me I started to do this again, but I am going to refer you guys back to the main map.
So I remember it. Is the only way up the lift tower?
So you are in a way correct, because this is a very steep ravine. There are only really two ways to get to the two field nodes, the northern field node here and the southern field node here, and that is through the lift towers. Now, the lift towers don't have any power, but that means, who knows what you could do when you get to the lift towers.
Probably
Maybe
have to
there's
climb them.
maybe there's some way to get up there. You don't know.
Okay.
Did we, by any chance, I remember that the Marines gear had a gun with a grappling hook on it.
I don't think any of us have the harpoon gun.
No.
I like your
Yeah,
ideas, though.
because Dot's kind of looking up the cliff and she goes, well, with the power done, I hope everybody brought their climbing shoes.
I mean, she could do it, but I'd need a decoy so I could crawl up that hill. It's not exactly an easy path. I could try and make her do it, but
I don't think Trina's going to make it up there, but she
Well-
can get us close.
well,
Yeah, rev her up and let's get to the tower. See what we can do.
So Violet has sort of come out of her hysteria after seeing the body of her young lover displayed for all to see, and her face underneath the helmet is stained with tears. And she sees the rent in Danny's skull, and then spies the wrench covered with blood next to his form, and she sort of screams in a harsh, just accusatory tone. Which one of you fuckers did this? Which one? Who did this? She seems to have turned her grief into rage.
Dot just kind of shakes her head and looks at it and says, "Talk to your kid." And then turns and starts walking towards Trina, wherever Trina is.
Okay. Benny sort of stares at you as you say that.
Oh, does he come out? I thought he was still inside.
Oh no, he came out. Everybody came out,
Oh, okay.
including Tan Blashman, ICC
okay.
inspector.
I hate that
We're
guy.
we're still on the big. I didn't see them on the little map, and we're not on it right now.
Oh yeah,
on
yeah,
the
no, they
local map.
did in fact come
Oh,
out.
okay. In that case,
Do you say that? I mean, I can allow you to retract if you'd like.
well, I was gonna say, in that case, instead, she would just look straight at Benny and go, "Yeah, which one of these assholes did it?"
Benny shrugs. Why are you asking me?
Because you walked in with blood on your hands and wouldn't talk about it.
I hurt myself.
Because you knew he was screwing your mom and you were pissed about it.
Violet stares at Benny and says, "He wouldn't do that. He would never do that." And she sort of grabs him and says, "You knew? You knew about me and Danny?" And Benny sort of like stares at her, and his eyes begin welling up with tears. And he says, "Yeah, Mom. What? I saw you. I saw you and him one time. I didn't tell Dad though. I didn't tell Dad." And Violet just sort of steps back one step and just shakes her head. Did you kill him?" And Benny says, "It was an accident. It was an accident. I didn't mean to. I just wanted his vault key card. I wanted to take all the stuff that was down in the basement and just get out of here. This place it's a death trap. We all gotta get out of here." And he starts to get very hysterical. He starts to like just shake with fury and fear. Does anybody want to step in?
What is the role for stepping in?
Command, I would say. In a forceful sense, or maybe manipulation in a less so sense.
I'll step in.
What do you want to say?
You guys have been under such incredible stress here. God knows how any of you have survived all this time. Let's not worry about this right now. Let's worry about staying alive just a little bit longer. We can deal with this later. Right now, what we need to worry about are the ones that are still here. We can get through the rest of this. It's gonna be okay.
Okay. Make a manipulation roll.
Nice.
2 successes. I think you can stunt your manipulation as well, if you'd like. This. Oh, my manipulation macros fail to work once again.
Target
does. Okay, go ahead,
Go ahead.
Patrick.
Target doesn't demand a return favor, does more than is asked for, or is impressed by you and will help later, are the 3.
I will take the impressed and will help later.
Okay. So, Benny breathes perhaps a little less heavy. His his actions become a little bit less erratic, and he looks at you, and his eyes flip between you and Violet, and he says, "You can't tell the Merinos. If you tell them, or if they find the body, they'll kill me. They'll kill me."
If we don't get out of here, we're all gonna die, and it doesn't matter who kills us because we'll be dead.
Yeah, at the moment, we need to not worry about
Agreed.
this. We need everybody's help to get up there to the solar farm and get everything cleaned off. So let's grab everybody, pack them into Trina, and get closer.
There's a problem with that. Trina only fits 5 people. So if we're gonna protect people or split people up, we're gonna need to leave some of the party here to deal with the murder mystery while some of us are hitting things with a wrench. I'd like to
I mean,
volunteer to hit stuff with a wrench because I have to drive Trina anyway.
Yeah, I'm volunteering to
Maybe
go up there
bad
to the
timing
solar
for
farm.
that.
I
Grace.
mean, the mystery hasn't been solved, but I don't want to be around these people any longer than I have to be. We could also take 2.
Is
Don't
there a
you
second
guys
one?
have
There is
vehicles here?
there is a second Daihotai 8x8 tractor. That is correct. It's actually stored in the vehicle bay, right down here. Remember how he said that he didn't have room in the vehicle bay for 2 Trinas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we make
let's-
that one work?
There we go.
That one will work.
Let's get them over there and get that one fired up.
So, well, I guess my thought is we don't know what the sandworm does yet, mechanically speaking, above table, and that means that anything we could do could be the paranoia of.
Oh, it's gonna burst out of the ground and fucking chomp on us.
Yep.
But
no.
the question is whether
Feel a
or
real
not we
tremor
have seen
situation coming up.
Yup.
Moon, Beetlejuice, or Tremors this many years in the future.
Are you trying
And I
to
got a storm rifle, so it's definitely tremors.
Are you trying to tell me that we have a real Chekhov's harvester in our hands? Is that essentially what
Yes.
you're trying to say?
No, because the harvester wasn't on the
No,
mantelpiece
it's
when
not-
we started session
That's
1.
fair.
Yeah, it's not Chekhov's harvester, it's Chekhov's harvester. Chekhov's
No.
sandworm.
It's
Thank you.
Schrodinger's sandworm.
It's
Schrodinger's
Schrodinger's
sandworm,
sandworm.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay, fair.
It is not a threat to either half of the party until
Unless
we
you
split
see
the
it.
party.
Unless you
No,
see it.
until we split the party.
Oh, until you split the party, and then okay, that's fair. So split the party. Who wants to go where?
Now I'm awake.
It's kind of like
Let's-
Schrodinger's party, but that's
Let's get
semantics.
let's fire up both vehicles at the same time.
Good idea.
And then one vehicle will make it there, and the other vehicle will probably be dealing with the sandworm.
Dune,
We
part
still
3.
Gotta make
I love
sure
it.
that people can get to the harvesting garage without attracting the worm.
The vehicle bay is where they
You
need
gotta
to
walk
go.
without rhythm.
Oh my god.
Well, from what I can see about the
Or
way you
you
walk,
just say
sweetheart, I don't think that's
Beetlejuice
gonna be a
3 times
problem.
and give them a different target. Like,
Well, have you
fine.
ever seen the Ministry of Silly Walks?
Oh my god. We are mixing
This is
so
a
many
problem.
genres right now.
And
What
that's
the fuck?
okay. This is how we survive pain and fear.
What is happening?
What is the question? Okay, no, the real question is A, who is running to the second tractor? And 2, who other than me has a good piloting check?
I have
Private.
0 in piloting, but I do have 5 in agility.
That's helpful. Anybody better than 5?
And I
It's exactly the same for me, honestly.
It's not bad.
Let's do this. I'm going to actually, since it seems like we're moving away from the
murder
control
house.
block and the Parks house. First of all, what do you, if anything, want to do with the body of Danny Marino?
Meh, leave it.
that's Violet's deal.
Okay.
At some point, we're going to need to try and explain this situation in a distance where there is no fist fighting, because I feel like if we're going to try and extract these people safely from whatever the hell is going on back in that house full of all sorts of things, we also need to make sure that we can extract ourselves first. I agree with the gentleman here that we need to prioritize getting the hell off before we break up that particular reality television.
My
Question.
my thought is, if they want to get off this planet, they'll figure out how to get along until we do, and they can deal with their drama after they get off planet. Otherwise, they can stay out here and fight for as long as they want to, and they can
Let's
without
put
us.
this telenovela on hold for a minute while we get the hell out.
We could also just get off
That-
and let them make him.
Let's get
May
everybody
not
to
be
exit
love
from a
a
different
chat.
door, so
It's
they're
like-
not freaking out over the body.
Logistics question. What is the approximate distance between the control block and the closest lift tower?
Great
It's kind
question.
of hard to tell from
Way
the map.
too much. Control
Um,
block to landing pads about 25 feet, according to these 5.
Yeah, there's a 5 by 5 meter block in the bottom right-hand corner of the map.
Already made a copy.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I think Matt can copy them, but I made a
can.
little one that you can copy paste.
Yeah, so you can sort of like grab that. Thank you so much, Patrick. That's like 5
Actually,
meters.
Patrick can grab it. We would have to make our own.
That's okay.
I can't copy it. I tried.
Yeah, it's fine. This item here, right here, that's 5 by 5. So if we just sort of like pretend like that's 5, we can maybe measure. I hope that'll work. Holy shit! No, that's not 5 feet.
No, that's the problem. Is you got to copy paste the squares to do it.
I'm not gonna cop. That's just
Actually,
too much
you
work.
Don't. Hang on a second. Let's see here. So if
Oh, yeah.
2
Nicely
feet
done, Sarah.
equals 2 feet equals
math,
5 feet.
Math.
No,
2 equals
so
5.
2.2 equals 5.
Yes.
So from here to here.
Just
So
go all the way
we're
to
gonna
lift
say
tower. Let's go all the way to the
Just
to
double
all
lift
the
it,
way to the lift
basically.
tower.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
so
double it
it's
a little bit
about-
more.
It's a little over
150
150 feet.
Remember, that's meters versus feet, right? Because
Oh, meters. 150
like
meters, which is
450?
like,
It's a little over a football field.
Jesus.
yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Math, kids.
Woohoo! It works.
Yeah, 164 yards. So yeah, a little longer than that's not that far.
Now, the more important question for Dungeon Mother is that 1, 2,
Dungeon
or
Mother.
3 zones?
Great
That sounds
question.
dirty.
Great Dungeon Master. Terrible player. How run fast, DM?
How run fast? How is Babby born? Let's see. How girl get pregnant? Let's see. The
As compared
It's not in the water.
I think that
And it's about half as much to the vehicle bay.
there's no
but
zones
then-
on this map. I think for a very very practical reason. This doesn't seem like a combat map, but you can make a combat map out of anything. I have learned. I think that if I'm going to make zones, I would probably have to draw them, and I'm more than happy to do so. Right? Zones are 20. Usually, from my recollection is zones are about 25 feet. So every 5 squares, shall we say. So, if I'm going to go ahead and create a rectangle that is going to be 25 feet. This is so much fun, guys. I can't believe we're doing this. It's so much
Love
fun.
math.
Let's do a 25-foot square. That's about that big. So that's a zone. I just grab these.
It's like 6 zones away.
So that's a
6
zone.
or 7.
And then
not
I just
5 across.
That's about 5. Okay, no, it's more like 4. God damn it! Why do you have to be so
Only
precise?
we had a measurement square.
Well, yes, I know.
You can also just give us an answer
You
and
do.
we'll deal with it.
I'm just gonna I don't have to make it exactly 25 feet. It can be as big as the landing pad. How about that? Let's make it as big as the landing pad. That's easy, right?
There you go.
Boom. The landing pad is a zone.
So 4. 1, 2, 4, 5.
Sure, that works.
But that's going to determine full out because there is no dash speed, right? There is no.
You can
movement.
remember, you can do a fast action, at least in the 20-something rules, the pre-2025 rules. A dash, so to speak, is just moving using both of your fast and slow actions, right? So you
Yeah,
move.
because you can take
Exactly.
because moving is a fast action, moving into another zone. But if you you can sacrifice your slow action for a second fast action.
Exactly.
essentially.
So you can move 2 zones per turn.
per turn.
If
yes.
you do nothing else, yes.
Do we?
What's the plan, folks? Let's get the plan in order, and then let's
That is a
just
great
see
question.
it fall
Okay,
apart. Let's
somebody mechanically inclined needs to be going to the other vehicle in case it's
Oh.
not working.
do that. Just
So
here.
somebody needs to go to Trina, and somebody else needs to go to the other vehicle, who can pilot it and hopefully get it running if it's not running.
I am
All right,
almost positive before we go into Trina talk. I'm almost positive, and I have a note about it, that after you guys came up, after the storm, you didn't see Trina.
That's right.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
shit,
baby.
you're right. I do remember
where is
that.
she? No, I could have sworn I parked her right over there. God
Yeah,
damn,
yeah. I definitely
stars.
remember looking at the face of Patrick as he looked at me like, "You fucking serious, bro?" And yeah, that I remember distinctly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
I also
um,
remember that exchange.
I'm gonna.
Is there any way to look for it?
Sure, you can make an observation check.
I will also
I'm-
be looking for Trina because we've been having this conversation. I think it will also occur to Dot. Hey, wait a minute.
Right.
I don't see her.
Right.
Do I get any bonuses for panicking about my girl?
I'd say that the stress of you wondering where the fuck Trina is gives you 3 successes.
No, that
Dot.
was me.
Oh, that was Dot? Even
Fuck
better.
yeah, and no panics on my 6 panic dice.
That's
so
a
that's
lot.
the part.
Where's my
That's
car?
what I
Where's
was
my
fist
car?
pumping about.
We all have that at one point or time or another. We were in a parking
Dude,
lot and we're like, where the fuck's
Where's my car?
Where's my car? Dude,
all
where's
the
the car?
time?
No
I
one
would
then.
like to take one of her extras and bank an auto success in panic.
I'm going to wild card this a little bit,
It's
and
okay,
I'm
it's there.
just going to start moving as quickly as Chesterton can,
Okay.
which is not fast,
Yeah.
and is really funny, in the direction of the lift tower, just
Okay.
straight across, because Chesterton has gotten so annoyed and bored with the conversations that have been happening
Mm-hmm.
that he cannot take it anymore.
I don't blame you.
Screw it. I'll go with him.
Okay. Clark and Savage.
So I'm taking both of my actions as
Yeah.
moves.
I would like to put the characters on the Tontus Ravine. How does that sound to everybody?
Lovely.
Love that.
With my 3 successes in observation, do I have any indication of where Trina may have gone?
I think that you do, Dot. You spy a set of massive trenches in the dirt and dust from the landing pad to the southwest. You spy as well some shards and fragments of metal that seem to indicate maybe like a door handle or even like a tire rim that may have fallen off of Trina as Trina was summarily dumped somewhere in the mines.
Oh boy. Does it look like she was driven there? Or,
No.
Or shoved there by a giant angry worm?
By a something.
Damn it.
Okay.
Tucker's going to be inconsolable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dot
There'll
actually
be
does.
no talking to him after this.
Dot does actually. So we're all. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Yeah. So Dot will actually kind of go up to him and just kind of like just tap him on the shoulder.
No! I'm starting
And then
running.
point and just be like, I'm real sorry, dude.
Full action run for the southwest.
Okay.
Um,
Shit, that's a fucking mine! What are you doing? And then she's gonna run after him because he's an idiot.
Amazing. Okay.
Shouldn't Savage and I be too?
No,
you-
no, no,
Yeah,
no,
you,
no,
you
no.
guys. Yeah, Savage and Clark would be over here. Dot runs after Tucker.
God damn it, you
and
fucking idiot.
Murphy, what do you do?
I look at the two of them, the two groups, and go, I don't know which set of dumbasses I want to follow. Crap. So in her head, she kind of flips a coin. So let's flip a coin and see what happens here.
Okay.
Odds are with Savage, and Tucker is the evens.
I like the way you think.
Okay. Evens it is.
So,
Frickin'. And so she just takes off running after them.
fair enough. I would say, Tucker, you
Awkward
get
run in the suit.
Yeah, for real. First of all, you're exerting yourself, right?
Yep.
So I would say, first of all, make an air supply roll. Right? As you run through this dust-strewn
There we go.
ravine.
Panic.
Okay, so that means that you
Drop to 2.
Drop to 2 air supply on in your suit, Tucker. Your heavy footfalls, boom, 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 kick up dust and dirt as you run towards the mouth of the cave. And Dot, I think that you catch up to him as Tucker's just absolutely drops prone. Because Tucker, what comes out of the mouth of the mines is like nothing that you have ever seen. It is a massive, probably truck-sized, mutated-looking alien creature. It doesn't have any eyes, per se. It has an enormous ring-like mouth, and it walks on 6 stubby legs with massive claws attached to the 3 prehensile fingers attached to it. And as it shambles forth from the cave, Savage and Clark, I think that you see Murphy, Dot, and Tucker screech to a halt, and this thing emits this horrible high-pitched screech, and I think it's time to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Boy. And I would know, is this Herbie?
It's Herbie, baby. But it's Herbie
That's what I
unrestrained, uncut. Jesus, why did
Herbie
I make,
at night.
Oh, God.
Why did I make that
I forget.
joke?
What did we roll for? Oh, we just roll a
2d6.
d10.
You roll a
That's right.
d10, and I'll put the toinoid up.
Oof. Oh.
Oh, boy, Bo.
Don't be a problem.
And I am to
No, I wasn't typing.
it's a map play thing. All right, let me add you all to the turn order, and then turn to you all. And then I'm going to bring on Herbie, because Herbie's fun to bring on, right? Here's Herbie.
I forget, is low good or is high
Yes.
good?
Low is
Low
good.
is good.
Yeah,
Low
I thought
is
it was
good.
backwards.
Epic.
Matthew, is
Oh, Jesus.
Trina visible?
Not to your vision, no.
Just
Good. I
scratch
don't
it
think
out.
you can handle the sight.
That's Herbie.
No, boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give him
he
a
looks
smooch.
Like, he looks like the final boss monster from a game I played recently.
You're not wrong. I don't think. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Do this to me. Computer is going crazy. All right, so let's put Herbie on the map, and let's give you guys a little bit of music, and we'll go from there. Where are some? Here we
Everybody else needs to stick their turns in the turn order.
go. They did. I just need to roll for the.
Oh, mine all say 0. I didn't see anybody.
Okay,
else
so
with
let's
theirs.
just go. Let's let.
Yeah,
I'll
we
add a
can't put him in
turn
on this
to Herbie. I'm just gonna have a roll a d10 for Herbie. What?
I changed mine to a 5.
Herbie got a
There we
6. Savage got a 1. No.
I got a 1.
Did
I got
you?
a 4.
My fault.
Oh,
Haha. Joke's on you. Clark got a 3. And I think that's it. I think we're good.
We're in there.
3, 5, 4, 2, 6, 8. Boom. Descending. Actually, it's ascending. Ascending. Ascending.
Since talking is a free action,
Sure.
I'm going
as
and this
soon
ass.
as soon
It
as
depends on
Herbie
what you say.
appears, Dot is going to shout, "The shock rods! They're in the kennel. They're the only thing that can get him to they can control the damn thing. They're like 10 feet long. You can't miss them."
The kennel's dead.
The kennel is absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, but you just said the wall, like that part of the roof was collapsed. You wouldn't be able to like.
You could
get in
sort
rubble
through
and
the
look for
rubble.
shock rod?
Sure, you could sort through the rubble. That might take some time, but sure.
If you had time.
Well,
loot
she
the
does.
place.
Or you,
she-
unless you get lucky.
I mean,
Also,
listen, you
she's
could certainly
14.
try,
She shouts
as another
that out.
DM would might say.
Maybe if some of you have weapons that deal some kind of shock damage, that would give you ideas.
Interesting. Murphy, you're up. What do you want to do?
Does the shotgun do shock damage of any kind?
It does not. It is I believe it's just a slug weapon.
Okay.
There are other rounds for it, as Dot found, because she found one of those stun baton type bullets.
I found the shock round, the stun round.
Yeah.
I only have lethal rounds for this thing. If somebody's got something non-lethal, give it to me.
I mean,
Otherwise, they get what they get.
At this point, I don't think it matters. Just fucking kill it.
Okay, so she's going to shoot it. This will be fun.
So this is going to be, considering that I would say like you probably are about here, Murphy, after this thing came to be, because Tucker, you guys probably are more like this. So you're probably one zone away from it, which puts you at medium range.
Okay.
Okay.
So no penalties, just.
That is correct.
Right.
Medium. Well, it depends on your weapon. Does your what's the range on your weapon? It'll give it the maximum range.
I have no stats listed for shotgun.
Okay.
I just have the word shotgun listed.
Oh, well, okay. What we should have done is just dragged the shotgun under
Yeah, that would have been helpful, huh?
Yeah,
That's okay.
medium range is a -1 penalty.
That is correct, but it also depends greatly on what kind of
you have to be able. You have to have a weapon that can
that
shoot
can
to
do
medium
range. Exactly.
Yes. But that unfortunately doesn't remove the penalty, because even if you're shooting something at extreme range with an extreme range weapon, you still roll with a -3.
Correct. I think.
So I would be rolling with a -1.
1.
Okay, so you have a pump action. You have an Armat Model 37A2 12 gauge pump action shotgun, which I'm going to now
Short
drag
range.
onto your weapons. There we go. I'm going to get rid of the shotgun that's in your thing there.
Thank you.
And now you have an Armat shotgun. Ha ha ha. Now I have a shotgun. And if you open it up, it should say ranged, and it is short range, which means that you have to get within the zone unless you would like a penalty. Actually, no. I believe that you have to get in the zone in order to shoot the darn thing, because that's the maximum range of the rifle or of the gun.
Okay. So let's do that. I will go ahead and move closer. So about, because this always sounds like a great idea. So about here.
Yep, that's approximately within the one zone that this harvester
According to
is
the
in.
map, Herbie is a zone.
Herbie is about the size of a zone. That's not wrong.
And now we are going to hope this works. Ranged combat. -1 or
You don't need to roll ranged combat.
No.
Just click on the weapon in your weapons thing, and everything rolls.
Okay.
That's the great thing about this character sheet.
And no minuses because I'm now within the right range.
Exactly. Okay, that's 2 successes. Base damage 3. You want to do this as 3 damage, or do you want to do this as 4 damage with an additional oomph to it? Right?
You
can do as 3 damage with a stunt, or 4 damage total.
4 damage.
Done deal.
Yeah, range damage stunts are either +1 damage, or swapping initiative, making your opponent panic, making them drop something, or prone or pushed back, which I don't think we can do to something that big.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll its armor.
Extra damage.
Right, to see if it actually shrugs off any of this damage. Go. So it got 2 successes. So it shrugs off 2 of the 4 damage.
And it's dead now, right?
Nope. Not dead. Let's check something.
Don't yet know how fast it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
this whole thing could really suck
So,
real quick.
boom, Murphy, you shoot this thing, and you see that it's got a sort of an armored carapace, and the bullet whizzes into it, and you hear as it cracks the carapace a little bit, and it just sort of like swivels in your direction, and its mouth opens in a very sort of suggestive fashion, and just That is your turn.
Why do I feel like this thing looks a lot like the creatures in the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
You know what? That's actually a really good
Yeah.
It
comparison.
does.
That is a very
It's the
good
feeling that I
comparison.
get.
That is 100% correct. I wouldn't recommend jumping into it and starting to knife it from the inside. though.
Maybe not so much of the rainbow vomit.
Yeah, the rainbow vomit. All right. It is now your turn. Speaking of which, Marcus, Clark, go ahead.
Okay, so because I'm not going to say anything, I am going to tell you what Clark is thinking as he's going to make the decision that he's going to make. Clark, as Chesterton has realized a couple of things. Number one, the one unknown that he didn't know when he started walking is where is Herbie? He now knows that, and it's that way. So that's one less thing that is in between him and his goal to help everyone. The other thing is he is equipped mortally with only a bolt gun, and his chances of survival are very slim, as he has done rough calculations in his head. So, although his chances of survival moving forward are not great, they're better than running towards Herbie. So he's not going to say anything. He is going to continue going towards the lift tower and leave Herbie to the rest of the group, who is more ably equipped to handle this type of situation, and try to focus his efforts elsewhere. So he is going to use both of his actions to move 2 more zones towards the lift tower.
Works for me. So I'm going to go ahead and say that is about here. That fair?
Yep.
Fair enough. Clark, you take off for the lift tower. Savage, you see Clark just turn, see this giant, massive, sand-crawling worm, and just beat feet.
Yeah.
It's your
It
turn.
looks like I'm within long range, correct?
Yeah, I would say 2 zones is long range, yes.
Oh, damn it. She moved in there. I was going to drop a grenade on it, but
Ooh.
I have a feeling that would hit her too. Am I correct?
Yeah, that is a very,
Blast
very
radius.
strong and correct feeling.
Dang
Blast
it.
radius.
Why did you get closer? Okay.
She has a shotgun.
Well,
You can
know,
yell at her to get out, though.
Well, yeah, but that would be, yeah. I will yell at her to clear out, and at the moment, I guess I'll just shoot it. I'm assuming it's tall enough I can shoot over everybody, right?
You can shoot at it. Yes, I would say so, yeah.
But I mean over everybody else.
Yes, I would say so, yes.
Okay.
Over or around.
Yeah. I clicked it. There
You
it
gotta
goes.
go. You gotta put your
Nope.
penalty in the window.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's correct.
Stupid penalty. No penalty.
-2
Is
for
it?
long range.
But my weapon's a long range.
Doesn't
Yes,
matter.
that means that's the maximum range it can
Got
shoot.
you. Okay, so it's still a 2?
Yes, it's still
Still
minus 2.
-2. Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Okay, that looks like it was 2 successes and 1 panic, which
Ugh.
means that you drop the whole kit and caboodle as you shoot your pulse rifle, and it expends the entire clip. But you do get 2 successes from it. Let's see if you actually hit it. Please make a panic roll.
Okay. That's at the top, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And or above means you do not get any successes because it will negated by your 10 or higher roll. Panic.
Where is the panic button?
It looks like it's the stress button. So if you click the stress button, it panics.
Oh, gotcha.
panic
All right.
rolls.
To the left of your stress level, there's a little 3D box.
Die.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, you keep it together. Yeah, you do hit it though, and do
Of
two
course he does.
successes, which base damage 2. So you can make it 2 damage, or 2 in a stunt. Meaning 2 in a stunt, or 3 damage.
Oh, 3 damage.
Done. All right, it's gonna roll its armor. And I got 3 successes, so no damage. So it just goes, and the. Oh, actually, wait, isn't Am I wrong in thinking that your pulse rifle is armor piercing?
That is correct.
Yes.
Excellent.
They
So
are.
it rolls half of it, but unfortunately was the first 3 successes on its armor.
Damn.
So unfortunately, even though it was an armor piercing shot that you took, it seems to have grazed the creature and knocked off some of the chitinous armor, but not actually sunk into the flesh. It does not like, however, being shot at, and it sort of screeches and almost sort of reels up on its front. You see its stubby little arms with its claws going, "Ah!" And underneath, you see a bare white underbelly.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
So some amount of damage, or at least expression of damage, even though it was negated by armor, seems to enrage this creature and make it come up onto its hinds, so to speak.
Shoot the belly.
It is now Dot's turn.
All right. Dot is going to sort of shove herself in front of Bo and look at him and say, "You're the one who can fix shit. If you die here, we all die here. Go!" And then she's going to turn and pick up this fucking pistol that she grabbed in the basement
Oh, God.
and try and take a shot at it. 'cause
Okay.
Why the hell not? With all the stress, maybe it'll help me out.
Go.
This is this, am I medium range right now?
You're at medium range. That's correct.
All right, so that's minus uno.
3 successes and a
Only
panic.
One panic.
So
which
bang,
is
bang, bang,
probably
bang,
gonna
bang.
Fuck me.
You drop the entire clip into this thing. Choo, 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 choo. So you will have to find a reload if you don't already have one and slap it in there on your next turn.
So we grabbed the ammo on our way out of the
You
basement.
did. You grabbed, I think, 2 reloads apiece, if I'm not mistaken. Now, please
That
roll
sounds
your
right.
panic, because if
Yep,
you get a
here
10
we
or
go.
higher on your panic, which you don't, but you drop an item, so that means that your 3
Okay.
successes did, in fact, go through. It depends on how much damage you want to put, or stunting.
Oh, all 3 damage.
All
please.
3 damage in. You got it. Okay, and I will check your dropped item in a second,
Yep.
Dot.
Tell me what I dropped.
Let me just roll the armor. That is definitely not an armor-piercing pistol, if I'm not mistaken.
No, but he did have his white
But,
underbelly up.
yeah, does the underbelly?
That is a very good point. I will have the armor rating for this.
Cool.
It should be. Actually, it has its own armor rating. The underbelly only has a different armor rating. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm going to go ahead and roll.
Okay.
1 success. So,
Okay, so he
of
still
your
takes 2.
3, 2 go through. So yeah, you see small little green splotches on the underwhite belly as your just absolute barrage of attacks files into this creature's soft underside, and it just and lands with an absolute thud on the ground right next to Murphy. Murphy, please make a mobility check.
That drop made my stress go up. So.
1 success, but 2 panics. Please roll your
Oh,
panic roll. Let's see if this
Oh, boy.
is negated.
Did it automatically add that to my, or that doesn't? No, that doesn't add stress.
It
Just,
does not add
Not
stress.
yet.
Not
This-
yet.
The next roll may add stress.
It may. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see what you get on your panic roll.
I swear I just hit it, but well,
Just make
let's
sure
try
that.
that again.
Yep. Make sure there aren't any modifiers to your panic roll. Boom. 10. Oh, okay. So
Ooh, shit.
Murphy, you make your mobility roll, but as this thing comes down, bam! It unearths some sort of enormous chunk of dirt, which just gloms onto your suit, and you are frozen in place, which means that the next turn that comes up, first of all, your stress level goes up by 1, as well as all the friendly
I am
pieces
so
in
glad
short range.
Damn it.
she's in a different zone.
That is correct. She is in a different zone. If she was in the same zone as you, then Dot and
We'd be
Tucker's
screwed.
zone stress would go up. So instead, Murphy, your stress goes up by 1, but you are frozen in place. That means that you cannot move from where you are when your turn comes up next. Does that make sense?
I thought it just meant she loses her next slow
It
action.
says you're frozen by fear or stress for 1 round, losing your next slow action.
Moving is a fast action.
That
That's
is
why I
true.
said that.
That's actually a good point, right? That's fair.
So I should be able to move. I just wouldn't be able to do anything but move.
That's
next round.
exactly right. Let's
Yeah.
just
And
say
since
that.
he wants me to get out of the way,
Perfect.
moving isn't a bad thing.
Technically, I should have said that because you got a 10, that negates the mobility check, but I'm a kind mother. And I'll just say that, yeah, you're able to move on the next turn if you want, but you lose your slow action. That's correct.
Okay.
Speaking of kindness, what do I drop, Mom?
Let's find out, shall we? Let's see. What does Dot have in her noopsick? Dot has some stuff. Wow, Dot has a ton of shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna roll a d8. Let the dice decide. That is
that's actually my
7.
that is my signature item.
Oh. Well, then I'll make it a d7 then. I won't do that. That's mean to
Thank
lose your
you.
signature item. It's your pistol.
Okay, so it's the gun. That's
it's
fine.
the gun. The gun just falls to
I
the
stole
ground
it anyway.
and just absolutely shatters into pieces.
God damn it.
So you can remove
Fine.
that from your character sheet.
I just did.
Okay, it is now the harvester's turn. Oh god. Oh god.
Golly gee.
Oh wait, that was only my slow action. For
Oh,
my
that's
fast
fair.
action,
That's fair. Go ahead.
I am like, I look Bo in the face one more time, and I'm like, move, and then I
Pushy team.
run into the next zone, and that is my turn.
Okie dokie. Boop, boop, boop. Here we go.
As much as I want that risk your life experience point, I also don't want to die.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. All right, so here we go. This is the harvester. The harvester has 6 different attacks, as most of these aliens do. I mean, most aliens have 6 different attacks. You just roll randomly on the alien table to find out which of these attacks they do.
Okay, that's fair.
So 1d6,
I'm
and
about
that is
to
a
die.
oh fuck.
balls!
This is bad.
How badly do I die?
Well, we'll find out. Here we go. So let me just roll. We don't know that you're going to die. We don't know. Here we go. I'm going to roll. Okay, so this is... Oh, fuck my life. Okay, so it did get 1 success on its attack, which is called... Pulverize.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad.
You get to make... Bella, you get to make a last-ditch opposed close combat roll... to dodge that dreadful fate. Luckily, I rolled the close combat roll, which is against 8 base dice, and I got 1 success. 1. So,
Stress might save you, girl. It
if
might.
indeed you get 0 successes, you will be unfortunately mercilessly minced, your agonizing screams ringing in the ears of your friends until the day they die. If you don't, however, look at you. Look at you. 2 successes, 1 panic.
I have no close combat skill.
This is a you are lying to me. Here's the
No.
thing.
And 2 in agility.
You have made your close combat roll, however, you have rolled panic, which means that if you do, in fact, which is still a distinct possibility, roll a 10 on your panic, which could happen, or higher, then your close combat is negated and you will die.
No.
To seek cover.
It is an 11.
It's a seek cover.
I know, Julie.
But it's seek cover. It's not frozen.
Well, you see cover in its mouth, then. Yes.
You see cover on your next action, but if you don't get to it.
Murphy, tell me what the last
That's it,
thing
huh?
that Bella Rose Murphy thinks as she is pulled into this creature's mouth.
She looks back over her shoulder, sees the kid is out of range for now, and thinks, and she kind of reaches up and grabs her locket. I pray that she stays safe through this. And that's it.
Okay. Tucker, you're closest to Murphy. You see the absolute look of horror on her face as she is grabbed by this thing's mouth and mercilessly consumed.
Stress level?
I'm going to check to see if that's part of the attack. It says all who witness this receive a +1 stress level and must make a panic roll.
God damn it, Matthew.
It's not me, it's just the dice.
It's a 9.
Okay, so your stress level goes up twice, and you drop an item.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4.
Hank, you
3 and a signature item. So it's either the Never Sleeps I just picked up, the storm rifle, or the one of the blast charges.
Okay, that's... I'll roll a d4, I guess, right? That's a 1. What was the first thing on your sheet?
One of the blast charges, or
Done.
is it all 3?
No, you lose just one of them.
Okay.
So yeah, your blast charge falls to the ground, and you just see
Down
like the
2
light on it
instead
just go
of 3.
boom.
Yeah.
Here's mine. Tremble. Okay, that's cool. I can live with that.
Yep, you have a -2 agility until your panic stops, which you can. One of you hopefully can tell her to calm the flip down. But Dot, I can't imagine why this wouldn't haunt you for the rest of your days. Clark,
Thank
you're. I don't
I
think this would
didn't
apply.
like her, but I didn't want to see her get eaten.
Nobody does. Clark, I don't think this is going to apply to you. 1, because you're way too far away, and number 2, because you're basically running in the opposite direction.
Yes, I'm not looking back.
No, I don't blame you. Julie, do you want to play one of the NPCs?
I can play one of the NPCs for now since backup
Yes.
character is not
Completed yet? I understood.
On this planet.
that part. So
That's fair. That's totally fair.
so yeah. Give me somebody.
Okay. I'm going to give you Emilia Marino. Unless you want any of the others, like, I don't know, Morgan Park, or any of the. I'm going to go with whoever you
Not
would
Danny.
like. Danny's very much dead, so I don't think that would work out too well.
Benny.
Benny could be.
Benny. I was actually thinking
You
Benny
want-
would be funny.
Fantastic. I mean, we
Sure.
can give you Benny,
I
or
can
we can
be a
give you
teenage
Amelia.
boy. I can make my voice randomly squeak.
I love it. Done. You are Benny Marino.
And the Jets, or just Benny?
Just Benny for now.
It's Benny's
Benny.
Parks, isn't he?
Not quite my tempo. But yes, we're definitely going to go with Benny Marino.
I thought it was Benny Parks.
Okay.
Fuck, you're right. It is Benny Parks. My bad. It is Benny Parks. That makes sense because he's Violet's son. Yeah. I didn't give you the option of Violet either. Sorry, Julie. Did you want to think maybe Violet as well? Because Violet's the kind
I
of
was thinking Benny.
done. Benny, it is.
Fine.
Fantastic. Okay, F's in chat for Murphy. Yeah, sorry. Okay, here we go. Let's keep on keeping on. Tucker, it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. How bad is this thing looking? Do I have any idea if it looks weak, injured, or it's just decimating us?
It's a pretty hefty MFer, right? So I would say you've knocked off a teensy little bit of it. It's definitely not like, I'm about to fall apart. This thing
No,
is a behemoth
Yeah.
land animal, right?
I think it is going to kill Tucker to do so, but because she spent a chunk of her turn yelling at me and telling me to go do the smart thing, he is going to sling the rifle and full action dash to the vehicle bay.
Fair enough.
And if possible, I'd love to try and like rub the maintenance jack strapped to the outside of the suit, being like, I'm coming back for you, baby. I'm coming back for you. To try and take down my stress with my signature item, because it's been a while.
Okay, I'm all right with that.
And then however
I'm trying to
far you
remember
let me
if you have to
move.
do that in a place of safety. No, actually, that's a separate thing. Yeah, you could just use it once per sesh.
Those are story points, right?
Yeah. No, it's just like if you're in a place of safety and you spend 10 minutes, you can decrease your stress and
Right.
increase your health. Right. So I think you can use your signature item once per sesh to. It doesn't say when specifically. To decrease your stress.
Can I make it the full round, considering the sort of dot stretch of 24ish? Can I get to the front door of the vehicle bay and see, is this thing even operational? Like, what is the status?
Yeah. So the vehicle bay's doors are closed, but you can definitely run to the doors. Right.
Right.
I'd say that like. If you're using your fast and slow actions to run to that separate zone and get to the doors, that's all well and good. I'm just going to sort of hand wave it and say if you want to throw the doors open, that's not even an action per se. I know that
Okay.
maybe it is in some rules, but who knows rules? And then you open the door, woof, and you see another Daihote tractor. It's not Trina, but it is a Daihote tractor.
If I can flick on the controls and get this thing powered up this turn, I'd love to roll a heavy machinery.
I'm going to go ahead and say you can't do it this turn, but maybe next turn.
Fine.
Yep. Fair enough. Cool. All right.
all I got.
Fair enough. All right. Benny's not in the combat per se, but he's definitely in the area. So, Julie, just so you know, Benny has watched from the control block window all of the things that have occurred, right? He knows that he was essentially not outed by Dot, but he knows that he was pegged for the murder, and he knows that Violet, his mom, is understanding, although somewhat disappointed. I think that she's standing probably right next to you as this thing rumbles out of the mines and consumes Bella. You guys watch with horror as Bella Rose Murphy is utterly devoured. And Violet's like, they're never going to survive. They're never going to survive out there. What do we do?
We've gotta help. We gotta help. We gotta get off of the planet. There are only hope of getting off this planet, and if we don't, then if they don't survive, we don't survive. We have to get off this planet. We can't stay here anymore, and so they have to survive so we can survive, and we need to go and help them and get off of here. Like now.
Violet puts her hand on your hand and says, I know what you did was stupid. I don't know what I was doing with Danny. It was just sort of it just came out of, your father.
I don't want to talk about this.
No, you have to know.
No.
No. Listen to me, please. Your father's a cruel man. I don't know what happened to him in the last couple of years, but I just want you to know that if it's just you and me, then it's just you and me.
But if they don't survive, we don't survive.
How?
So we need to help them.
You know that you know Herbie better than anyone. How the hell are you gonna? Do you think you can make it to the harvester shed?
I can do that.
Get to the
I can
harvester
make it
shed.
there.
Find a prod.
I'll find one.
Go. Stay safe. And she puts her hand on your shoulder.
He just runs.
Okay. Let's put Benny on the board and let's give you control of Benny. And then we will go to Clark afterwards. And I will ask you, Julie, to roll another d10 for Benny since he's now on the board. Say, yeah?
Nice.
Okay. Benny, give you access to his character.
Oh, except we already have a 4.
Okay,
We
yeah,
already
gotta
have a
reroll.
4.
Yeah, so
Savage
re-roll
Fury
that.
4.
Go ahead. You can re-roll.
Don't have a 9.
Okay, a 9.
Makes sense to be back at the order.
I love it. All right, so this is going to be in your journal in a second. Go. So you should see the Benny Rose character under NPCs. Hopefully, you can see that character sheet. Yeah. You can also try
Got it.
moving around the token if you'd like, Julie. That's your choice. So you started right about here on control.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're trying to get to
To the harvester kennel or the destroyed remains of it, which is
Harvester,
right over here.
yeah.
Which
So
is
how far
about
can he move?
Yeah, he can move. That's about 2 zones away, right? If he goes out of the
Mhm.
control
He can
block
move-
to the edge of that zone.
So
Exactly.
he can move to about there.
Yes, and if you rolled a 9, that means that you were essentially the last in the order. I will sort
Right.
of hand wave it and say that was right before Tucker's move, right?
Okay.
So that you run out the door, and run to the harvester kennel. Okay. On your next turn, you're going to need to search around for that zap prod. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's go to Clark.
Clark is doing more of the same. That is to say,
Run.
running towards the lift tower.
Love it. All right, so I'm going to say that puts you 13 feet from there, so another 26 feet, so that's about here.
So within one zone away from the lift tower.
You're one zone from the lift tower. Are you running?
Yes.
Making
Well,
air.
if you can call it running.
I would.
Yes.
What? It's not sauntering.
He's not sauntering.
I'm going to say make an air supply roll for me, Clark.
What is that? Do I have
So
a
in the
button for
bottom,
that, or is that
in the
a-
bottom right hand corner, there's something that says air. Click it. Every panic will deplete one air from your air tank in your suit.
Wait, did I do it? No, I didn't do it.
Sure doesn't have modifiers, then you can hit submit, and then
It's not clicking.
oh, really? Would you like me to
did
do
them
it?
the other day?
You never eat fit. Okay.
It looks like I should be able to click it, but nothing happens.
You have to click the word air.
Yeah.
And then open up your main screen and check for
That's right.
modifiers.
If there's a modifier, it's usually behind your character sheet. This
Oh,
happens
hang
all
on,
the
let
time
me
with
check.
rolls. Yep.
No. Oh my god. I clicked it so many times. I have so many.
Oh
Hang
my
on.
gosh. That's okay.
Stand by.
We'll take the first one. No worries.
Stand by.
While Clark is doing that,
Okay,
let's
there we go.
no worries. No worries.
Air. No modifiers.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. One success, which doesn't mean that you deplete any air, right? You have to a panic depletes your air. Success is your birthday. All right.
Great.
So let's move on to Savage. Savage, what's going on here, sir? What are you doing?
Well, I believe I have lost my slow action from watching Bella get eaten. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's a good
And
point.
I'm willing to bet this thing is going to move, and it's going to move fast. So I'm going to move a zone, which I'm
Okay.
assuming is somewhere about here.
Yeah, it's about right. Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, and then I'm gonna, as I'm doing that, I'm gonna clutch my
Pearls?
cigar case, my my little item. My what?
Pearls.
Pearls?
I think you said
Yeah, I'm gonna
pearls.
clutch my pearls. That's my personal item.
Yeah.
No,
Works
the
for me.
cigar case, and
Drop a stress.
wish my stress level down a notch.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Oh. Yeah, as you're running, you're just like, just pass in front of your nose, take a big old swift. You're like, I
Yeah.
can do this. Let's go
Definitely.
for the cigars. And absolutely, you drop a stress. Okay. Anything else, Savage? If not, we're moving to Dot.
Nope, that's it.
Dot.
All right. Dot is kind of looking like she sees that Bo has decided to go for the vehicle and sees that these guys are running. She's like, I'd rather ride than walk. So she is going to run down to where Bo is and hop on into that tractor that he found.
Okay. The door is open, as evidenced by the fact that Tucker ran into the facility just a few moments before. Tucker is staring at a much older model Daihotai tractor than Trina. Probably anywhere between 75 to 100 years old, to be perfectly honest. So it's in
Age is
cruddy
just a
shape.
number.
Age is indeed just a number. This one is in cruddy shape. It's rusted. You see the paint peeling off of the majority of it. Some of the windows are a little bit broken, and spiders of fractures like lay across the majority of the glass. So it does. I mean, who knows if this thing is even gonna run? That's what you see. Tucker's looking at it with a. I don't know what kind of a look does Tucker have on his face at this point in time.
Oh, I'm gonna make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she climbs in and just kind of immediately starts looking around also to see if it looks like it's going to run. But
Right.
the move and the entering a vehicle were my two actual actions for the
Solid.
round. So
Good stuff. All right, we're
that's
moving
what I can do.
on to the harvester.
I'm also inside a building, so if someone dies, I won't see them.
That is fair. Okay, so after eating Murphy, this creature will move to the next zone. So, and since it cannot see, I'm going to go ahead and say that it uses a sort of almost like a sonar-like ability
Does it see heat? Because this gets more and more like Tremors.
It
as we go.
doesn't see heat. I don't believe it sees heat. It uses like a sort of a high-pitched squeal, which
Echolocation of
it
sorts?
is essentially an echolocation to sort of reverberate. This thing it lances through your ears as you hear it. Those of you who are outside. Luckily, you're not close enough to have this thing full bore blast you in the face with this kind of a shrill scream, or God knows you'd hear it probably multiple days. So let's make it make a kind of a check. Let's make it make a observation roll. Oh God, it has 0 in observation. That makes a whole lot of sense. So if that doesn't make any sense. I can't roll an observation, so it has to do. Oh, it does a sonar pulse. Of course, that's one of its abilities. So a sonar pulse. Boink. There we go. It uses its sonar as a. No, that's actually as it's a weapon. I don't want to do that. I want a sonar sweep. Sonar sweep is the one. My fault. It takes its surrounding by singing out in a quick sonar pulse. It says add 1 to the next roll on this table. Holy shit. That's not nice. That's not nice at all. So whatever attack it gets next, I add 1 to it on the next turn.
So it'll be 1 worse than whatever you rolled.
Correct.
Nice.
That's nice. I don't like these things, guys. I don't like these things at all. Not at all. All right, so that's its turn. It doesn't sense anyone in short range around it, so it can't make any attacks, and it doesn't have any guns. So that's its turn. Tucker, your turn.
Okay, since I'm right at the entrance and have thrown open the doors, can climbing in and starting it be a singular action or no?
I will say yes.
Great.
You will need
Heavy
to
machinery?
you'll need to make a roll for it. Exactly, a heavy machinery roll just to see if you can get this thing started.
That is 2 successes and a
Nice.
panic.
I love it. Make your panic roll. Please don't fuck it up.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
Thank God.
8.
Okay.
Trembles, but we're good.
Okay,
It is going to fuck up your piloting a little, but
It is indeed going to fuck up your piloting roll, on which is going to be your next turn to pilot the damn thing, because you're going to get a -2 to it on your next turn. I think Dot, you
more
also
panic.
have a tremble too.
I
so
also
you,
have the
so
tremble,
You're
yeah.
no better at piloting this thing
we're
than
both
Tucker is.
we're both shaky
Yeah, we're just
McShakerson over
like-
here.
Yeah, that's
We're
fair.
making popcorn.
This all makes all the sense in the world. But yes, the Daihote tractor works. As unstable as it seems from the outside, it does seem some form of conveyance, at least at this point in time. Anything else, Tucker?
If I'm not allowed to just hit the gas and start going, then I will save the comedy for later.
Save the comedy, because you're gonna have to make that piloting roll and see where it goes. All right, it is now Benny's turn. Benny, you've reached the harvester kennel. You're looking for a shock prod.
Observation?
Observation.
Nope.
I don't know.
Can I push the 4?
Did that come through? Oh, there we go. 0 successes.
We can't see it because you've got him rolling.
That's right.
DM
That's
only.
right. Bella Rose. Apologies. So that was 0 successes from the.
Can I push the 4?
You can definitely push. You can put you when you push both. You hit push and you push both. Eek. Okay. So the good news is that you get an additional stress, but the bad news is that was still 0 successes, Benny. So for this
Yeah.
turn, you're unable, where you are right now at the harvester kennel, to find any of these shock prods. You could still try again, but you see this thing rumbling up behind you, and you know when Herbie's pissed, he gonna eat somebody.
Okay. Yeah. As I'm searching, I'm going to try to kind of hide in the rubble, and so that maybe he doesn't see me.
I will do this. If you want to use the rubble as cover, I will give
Yeah.
it, if it does get to you for some reason or another, it will have -2 as a penalty to whatever it rolls on its signature attacks.
Sounds good.
Fair enough. Clark. your turn.
So it looks like I'm within range to use a fast action to get to the lift tower.
Correct.
And now I need to assess the status of this lift tower to see what my options are to get up this lift tower with no power.
So the lift towers.
Is there a service ladder or something like that?
There is a. So the lift towers are made out of a very sort of thin metal scaffolding that's been pitted by years and years of dust and debris. There is an elevator, obviously, that works when the base has power, but clearly the base does not. But there is a rickety set of steps that brings you
I
to the
love
top.
a rickety set of steps. I'm going to start traversing the rickety set of steps.
Okay. You used both of your actions to get to the tower, correct?
I think I only used one because
Yeah, you were only one zone.
That's
I was
fair.
only one zone away.
That's fair. So I will go ahead and say that it's about 100 feet to get to the top.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 2 zones of climbing.
So I can make it halfway up.
You can.
Okay, great. Gonna do that.
Solid.
No hesitation.
Okay.
I mean, a little bit of hesitation.
Minor hesitation. Rickety hesitation. Cool.
Correct.
All right, so you make it way halfway up the top, Clark. Gunk, 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 gunk. You hear the tower sort of reverberate and almost sort of shift. You're like, oh shit, is this thing fucking stable? Duh. Who knows? Savage, it's your turn.
All right. Any chance that Herbie is showing his white underbelly?
He hasn't been damaged.
Okay.
So the answer to that is no.
All right. Well,
Grenade!
yeah, I'm dropping a grenade right on him.
Okay. What's the range of your grenade?
Long range.
Holy shit, you got an arm, dude.
Well, it's grenade launcher.
Oh, you're grenade launching. You
Yes.
are underslung pulse rifle grenade launcher,
Yeah.
ka-chow kind of thing. I get you.
Right?
That's
All right.
from here to here. Just to,
That's a big old. I think I might have a. Do I have a thing for that? I think I might have a. I don't know if I have a grenade launcher sound. No. Oh, I have a grenade throw sound.
There we go. Close enough.
So I'll go ahead and use that.
Perfect.
Nice.
There we go. That'll do.
that'll do.
-2 for long range. My roll 20 is lagging. Okay, there we go.
Good gracious! You got the whole
That's a
text.
very
of-
long description.
You have the entirety of the whole
Nice.
core rule book in this
Three
description.
Yep.
I didn't do it. That was the drag and drop.
So that's a blast weapon.
Is that Blast 9?
Blast 9.
Okay, so that
Oh, yeah.
means that with 3
Roll-
successes, you roll a 9, and then you can tag on the additional damage to
Additional
it.
2.
Yes,
He
2
rolls
more damage.
9d6 and also where'd it go? That's for victims at engaged range from the detonation suffer 1 extra point of damage. So no matter what, he'll get 1 more point of damage on
Beautiful.
top of whatever is rolled.
All right, so roll 9d6, please, Savage.
Okay.
Each success is a point of damage.
Oh, dang it. All right. How do you do that in the chat thing? Because
We can just
no 9
do
on there.
/R and
Okay.
then space 9d6.
Oh yeah, that's just for because it only lets you roll 1.
Yeah,
off of
'cause it
there,
goes
so
up-
You have to
yeah,
do it like that.
So /R 9d6. So we'll just look for 6s in the chat. See which ones are successes. Okay. No fucking way.
But he still takes.
He still takes some minor damage.
Oh,
He takes 3 total.
Okay, so he's got armor.
Wait, so you have to get this is a mechanics thing
Mhm.
that I would like to understand.
Yeah.
He would take an additional, so he gets 3 points of damage for 3 successes.
So no, he doesn't.
No.
Get, so the single point of damage because he's in the actual engaged range of the explosion of the grenade. Right?
Okay.
That's the first one. Then the additional 2 because if you look back up at the actual roll, Hank Savage got 3 successes. And he wants to dump those 3 successes, which was a base damage of blast 9 plus the 2. So whatever you got on the blast 9 plus 2. So it's actually plus 3.
So,
he
but
didn't get any
but blast
damage on the plus 9, unfortunately.
You
3
only
damage.
get blast damage if you get a 6
Correct.
on your D6
Correct.
That is correct.
Yes.
for a maximum of 9 plus 2
Plus 3.
Yes.
plus 3.
Plus 3
Okay.
because he is in engaged
Gotcha.
range.
That is
Because
right.
it's a blast radius, which also means that if anybody had been standing next to him, like Bella Rose was earlier, she
Vaporized.
also would have taken the blast damage.
Turn to mist. Exactly.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much for that explanation. Hopefully you all found that extremely educational. Let's go ahead and deduct 3, but of course it has to go through its armor. So let's see if this was all for naught. I hope it wasn't.
Are grenades considered armor piercing? I don't know.
I don't believe so, unless it says it.
Egg?
You can look if you would like. In fact, I think it's in, if you want to take a look, I believe grenade may be in the...
I think it's in the Marines book because it's not in the regular one I was looking earlier.
Interesting. You look at the grenade launcher. It's arm out with U1 grenade launcher. No. Electric shock grenade. Stun effect. One moment, please.
There
Sarah,
you go. So I've got the grenades up, the
Yeah.
grenade types up.
explosive grenade.
Yeah, I'm assuming none
If it
of
doesn't
the-
say
wait,
it,
hold
then
on,
it's...
hold on.
Go ahead.
Okay, wait. Oh no, that's a heavy weapon that is armor.
You do that in the
It says
meanwhile,
grenade
I will
types.
roll
Yeah,
the
I'm
roll.
looking. What type of grenade was it, Hank?
It's explosives, for example.
Explosive.
But like an Armat M40?
Yes, M40. M40
Yeah.
grenade.
Okay.
That's what comes out of a pulse rifle.
Okay. No, it is not armor piercing.
Okay, there we go. So armor rating. It rolled, fuck my life. It rolled 5 successes.
Mm.
Jesus!
So this grenade goes kakoosh, and there's like a cloud. And Herbie the Harvester, the toughest motherfucking alien that we have seen on this channel yet.
No kidding.
Laughs
Just-
at all of us.
He just trains on through.
If Bo is about to start driving, can I grab his gun and take Overwatch?
Sure,
All right.
I'm alright with that.
And
like
Bo,
watch-
you just have the storm rifle, right?
Yep. Yes.
Like I know what I'm doing. She has no idea, but you have to drive, so she's gonna grab it. Because there's also nothing else I can
Could
really
also
do right now.
throw one of the other 2 blast charges. Terrible idea, but fun.
Oh no, very, very cool idea in my opinion, but who knows?
Actually, even with my -2 to agility, fuck it, why not? Okay, rather than trying to unsling a gun, she's gonna grab one of the blast charges off your belt and take Overwatch with the blast charge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Patrick. To chuck it out the window at Herbie if he is within range when we get out of the garage.
Red light, green light.
It-
And,
Hey, my throwback, love it.
Mhm.
It's gonna be
So
like
yeah, so
Terminator when they're chucking the
Yeah, the pipe
that
bombs.
charges.
franchise.
Yeah.
Pipe- yeah.
Mhm.
I'm making time this weekend, and I'm so excited to watch a 30-year culmination of me watching everything but movie 1 in the movie theaters.
You've never seen the first Mission Impossible in the theaters?
It was the only one I didn't see because it was 96, so I was only 9 years old.
Mm.
I am
The only one I didn't see in the movie theater.
my head
Hasta lasagna, don't get any on you.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
They're
Toast.
dead, Claire. They're
So
all
I
dead.
am.
Toast.
Patrick, which blast charges are those?
these are the...
I think they're blast 9 as well. I think they're blast 9 as well.
Yeah, 2-9. Yep. 2 base,
Two-
9...
Two base 9 blast.
2 base,
Okay.
9 blast.
That's good. That's good. So you're tossing this on the way out, Dot?
Yeah, like if when he moves us out on his turn,
Hmm.
Herbie is in range for me to chuck it at him
For sure.
out of the vehicle, I will do so. Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Prepped to chuck.
I think
Prep
Herbie...
to chuck. That is my Overwatch.
Herbie didn't sense anything, but he sure as shit felt that. So after your turn is completed, Dot, or at least you're sort of holding your turn's actions for a moment, Herbie feels the explosion, raises up, and sort of hovers there in the midst. And again, uses this high-pitched shriek to try to sense the location of anything around him. Clearly, the only thing that he can sense is a single solitary figure rooting around in the harvester kennel. because his head swivels in your direction, Benny, as you're like, fuck, where the hell are these goddamn shock prods? And then you just hear this horrible shriek, and the circular mouth and head attached to it just moves slowly and inexorably in your direction. Tucker, it's your turn.
Yep. Great. I am going to drive. I would like to do whatever the vehicle equivalent of a dash is and just burn rubber.
Okay.
So I believe that's piloting? Or would you count heavy machinery?
I would say that's a definite piloting roll. But
Right.
remember that you have a -2 penalty because you are shaken, not stirred.
And that
Okay, all right.
is 2 successes and a panic.
And 2 panics.
So here we go again.
Don't get it to... Oh, fuck.
Frozen.
Balls.
Jesus, Bo. Okay.
Question.
Yes, Bo.
Is that the vehicle stalling out?
That's however you want to flavor it.
Well, no, because the question is if the vehicle is frozen, I would like to try and use my talent.
Ooh.
Because
your
it's a new
talent?
character subclass, and it's
Yeah.
a new talent.
What's the talent?
I would like to, if this thing stalls out while I'm trying to gun it, I would like to try and use Miracle Mechanic.
The, Tucker, is that as an action, or is that just like, well, you do it when shit goes south?
It's a slow action when shit goes south. So the question is, I know it's technically mechanically sort of fudging the line of what is my piloting check here.
Okay. I will fudge it and allow it for the fudge.
On the
Wow, that
acknowledgement
sounded
that I
really, really bad. I don't
Such
know why.
a gracious mother.
Why
do
did that
have to
sound
take
so toe-curlingly
one more
wrong?
panic. I will take the one more panic from this, the one more stress from
Excellent.
the freeze.
Okie dokie.
Unfortunately, Sarah's also taking a panic.
Yes, she is.
Oh shit, because he froze.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Because he's just
But
like,
This is not going to be good, y'all.
this is the
I
spiral.
will
That is very
curse up
This
a
is the
goddamn
spiral.
storm.
Okay,
I
so,
was already trembling.
so that means you drop another
so
item
Deep
because
in
you
the
go up
spiral
one.
Yep.
already.
Drop something. What do I drop inside the car?
What do you have? How many
it
items
would-
you got?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Should
Anything
it
but
6
five.
or something?
It's 6, not including my
6. Let's
my
make the
personal
dice
item.
decide.
And she can't drop the blast mine.
That's a 2.
2. Oh man. Oh, I forgot to put my laser pointer on there, so I will. Oh.
What'd you drop?
My fake has 2 power loader license.
Oh no! How ironic. Stealing equipment and you drop
I
your
didn't
license.
steal it. It's fake. I made it, or someone made it. I probably
I mean,
won
you could
it.
probably make another one. Who knows?
Yeah,
If
true.
you ever get back to the ship. Okay, so yeah,
Mhm.
your
If I
license sort of
survive.
flies off of your lapel, and just like
If that is chill, then the success is 3
Jesus
successes to whack it into place
Christ.
for 6 more
Nice.
turns.
yes. You have the, let's call her Trina 2 at this point in time. Yeah, you will have Trina 2 for 6 more turns. And you bust out
T2.
of the gate. Red dust flying everywhere. What is the speed of Trina? I guarantee you it's more than your standard walking speed.
Yeah.
Probably.
Someone want to look up the Daihotai tractor speed?
Yeah,
Because that's
looking.
going to be a big old
Looking.
push. Because then I'll just move you all to where I think you probably are going to be. Benny, you're on deck getting ready.
Daihotai tractor, speed 2.
Speed 2. All right, so that means you can move 2 zones.
Speed 2, hull 6, armor 4.
Superb.
So that puts us there.
If you want to go straight through the wall,
Well, no, you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. You're going to go like bing
All right,
and then bang.
and so as we whiz past, I'm gonna chuck
Chuck it.
the blast charge, and since the panic actually helped me, I no longer have the agility panic, so I
Hot
don't have
damn.
to take the penalty.
Let's go.
But I do have to take, I think, the medium range penalty.
You should get a
so
bonus
it's
for
-1.
having pre-chucked.
Pre-chuck.
It's just Overwatch is basically just readying an attack
It is.
action.
Yep. Okay, that's a
Okay.
lot of panics, Dot.
But it is 2 successes.
Comments,
so let's
what
see
could go
happens now.
wrong? Did you put that in
Yep.
yourself?
I certainly did. You also notice it's called Bo's Blast Charge.
This is the problem with
okay.
giving us 5 years of being able to play with entering things into
Listen,
Roll20.
This is why Roll20 was made, so that you guys could fuck around with it. There you go.
Okay. So
Please don't get a 10 or higher, because then this thing is going to go like boop, and then just hit in the wrong zone.
blow us up. Yeah.
It won't blow you up, but it'll definitely blow up in the
okay,
wrong
here we
zone.
go. Come on, dicey dice.
Oh, god damn it. This is why panic
Okay.
sucks, guys. When you get to this level of panic, we're like pretty much 50% chance of you fucking things up.
It makes mine go down 1, but it
does.
makes Bo immediately roll a panic.
Bo, roll,
Damn
panic.
it.
He's just doing it back to me. What I'm doing back to him, what he just did. To
Fair.
me.
Us, you're screaming in the car, I'm screaming in the car, we're screaming at each other as I'm driving.
This makes
Panic
so much
reverb.
sense. Dot, you scream as Tucker peels out.
No.
Jesus Christ, you
I
guys.
think
Beaucephus.
I think that I probably went. Well, at least he's driving. I
no,
at
but it's a
least-
flea.
That's okay.
I know.
You
I
are
like- I
technically
like to-
fleeing. I mean, let's be honest. You are fleeing.
If you'll
You're
take
already fleeing.
I will go ahead and say so, but
So-
I'll just say your stress level is decreased by 1. But
And now
every
hers goes
friendly
back.
character, and then she has to make a panic.
Oh no, I have to do it. At least mine went down. But I would just like to
spin.
narrate. So I think that she went to chuck it out of like the rear side window, right about here, right when he
Ugh,
cut the corner.
Man.
So she screams because she almost gets thrown out of the tractor.
I love it.
And that's why the thing goes wide. But I do, just out of curiosity, want to see what damage this does to whatever it
Sure, roll
is.
your blast D9.
Roll, so 9
96.
6.
1,
That's
2,
1,
3
2,
damage.
3 at plus 4, 5 from the base 2
Right.
plus my extra 6. So it does 6 damage to the landing pad.
Okay, well, the landing pad is completely fucked now.
And now I have to make
Good
another
job.
fucking panic roll.
Yep.
But Scream.
Scream is just your
Also-
stress levels decreased, but panic roll goes up.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what, this combat music has been
And
going on for
I'm
an hour and a half. It's
dropping
stressing me
shit
out.
like crazy.
I think it ran for a
dropping
total
shit.
of 97
You're dropping shit left,
seconds
right,
in
and
the
center.
movie.
Let's see. Here we go. 1.
Yep,
What do you have,
make
D5
it-
now?
Make it a D6 because I forgot to include my laser pointer.
Okay, here we
last
go.
time.
That's a 1.
That is my laser pointer. God damn.
Bye-bye, laser pointer. But
All
hey,
my everything that I got from my background of being a kid is now gone.
teens, they drop everything, man. Tell them to keep this shit on them, and they just next thing you know, they're just dropping
Don't
shit
worry.
left, right, and
You'll
center.
make new memories.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's Benny's turn. That took a while. Benny, it's your turn.
All right, so this monstrosity is heading towards me or heading somewhere else now?
It sure looks like it's heading towards you because it looks like it's about to burrow its way towards you.
All right. And a fast movement is a fast action,
Yes, it is.
and observation is a slow action.
That is correct.
So
Well, you
we're
still
starting
haven't
with
found that cattle prod either.
That's why she needs
Yeah,
to roll
so-
the observation for it.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the observation.
Let's go. You have stress. Should help a bit, I hope.
Nope, we're gonna push it.
Pushing it again. Shit on a fucking stick.
Nothing.
Benny, you can't find this fucking cattle prod, and you sense this thing just slowly, just undulating its way towards you, Benny.
All right,
Can you
so he's
Change
going
the security so that we can see Benny's rolls.
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
All right, so Benny's going to. It says that the store is still up, but the kennel is not. So he's going to get around and behind the store, where he's out of sight, but still close enough that you can try one more time. To
I'm all right with that. I'm all right with
find
that.
something.
Okay, one more time. Clark, you're on the stairs. What do
So-
you want to do?
I'm halfway up,
Yes,
so a short action should get me to the top.
Yes,
Right.
a quick action. A
Quick action.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I'm gonna take. I feel like I need to take another quick action to run.
To what?
Finish running up the
Where do
steps.
you want to run to the solar farm?
Like, yeah. So what I want to do is I'm running back now towards the field node,
Okay.
but I would like to, as I'm going back toward the field node, try to assess the situation as I'm passing the solar panels to see if I see any obvious
Dust
ghost in
and
the
debris.
system. Yeah, something.
Okay.
Something that looks like, oh, there's, this has blown up. Like, this is obviously
Right.
not working.
Sure. I'm going to go ahead and say that this doesn't require a roll. It's pretty goddamn obvious that there is just a shit ton of dust on many of these solar panels. As you run by them, you just see them coated with this sort of reddish-brown dust.
So, in that case, can I would like to start clearing the dust off of these solar panels to see if there's any effect, to see if anything starts coming back online. I know that the first set of solar panels is relatively close, but I don't know if I can get to it and start clearing in one action.
Okay. I will say that if you wanted to clear off all of these solar panels of dust, of which there are probably a couple dozen, this may take time, right? It's not the
Sure.
kind of thing where you just can go like, whoop, and then the dust is gone.
Sure.
This may take 10 minutes, potentially.
However, I feel like I don't need all of the solar panels to be able to activate the comm array. Like, there's several buildings that don't even exist anymore that are no longer pulling power.
That's true.
And I should be able to get, I guess what I'm looking for is an indication that this is the actual problem.
Yeah.
So as I start clearing dust, I would like to see if I see signs of life kind of in any of the buildings around, if there's any, like, warning lights on the, the field.
I gotcha.
The security field or anything like that.
Yeah, the field pylons are completely dead, right? Meaning that they would have lights on them if they were activated. Right. They're completely bereft of that. So no power at all at any of the field pylons.
So I'm going to go to the closest line of solar panels
like right up
to me and just start wiping them off.
Okay, fair enough. Like I said, this may take a while. If your intention is to spend like the next 10 minutes and not be part of the ensuing combat, that's totally fine. I can take you out so we don't have to worry about like, I wipe it again. Yeah, I keep wiping, right? You know what I mean?
Yes. That's my intention for the foreseeable future until something changes.
Fantastic. So I will remove Clark from the initiative order. Clark, you are basically right up there with at the solar farm, starting to clean off all the junk.
Great.
Okay. So let's just go to Savage then. Savage, you're still down at the main level. You watched Clark ascend the southern lift tower and then disappear.
Okay. So, and my stuff's still lagging. All right, there we go. Can I use my fast action to hop on the side of the Trina 2?
Yeah.
2.
I would say, yeah. I mean, this thing is no pun intended. This thing is trucking.
Yeah.
So Dot and Tucker have taken this thing out for a big old spin. You hear the screech through your headphones of Dot as Tucker just peels out of the vehicle bay. This thing is going 35, 40 miles an hour and just kicking up a shit ton of dust. And in the cloud behind it, you see the imposing silhouette of Herbie, who seems to be going after something behind him. You're not sure what the hell's going on.
All right. If that thing's hauling that fast, I am not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to move back a zone, and then I am going to drop a grenade into Herbie's white underbelly, which is currently showing.
It is currently showing.
Nice.
More grenades.
Yes. There's the one. Okay. Come on, roll 20. There we go.
Okay. You got 2 successes. So
And
that
no panics.
and
Nice.
no panics, which means that this
Perfect.
thing will be perfectly placed as long as you roll decently on your 9d6 blast damage. Mm-hmm. 9d6. Every 6 is a success.
There we go.
Slash R, not R slash.
Oh,
Love you, buddy.
Of course. Of course.
It happens to the best of us.
Nah.
You know. And it's thinking.
Is it? Wow.
There we go.
Meow, meow, meow,
Oh.
meow,
Yeah.
meow, meow. Jesus.
Only 1-6.
Damn.
Only one success.
So 2 damage.
So
Motherfucker.
It is 2 damage.
There's
Ugh.
seriously no base damage on that grenade? That's weird.
Base damage is
Well,
whatever the
I
blast damage is.
I also got a second success, so make that 3 damage.
So the base damage is whatever you roll for the blast. Which is
Mhm.
9d6.
Well, no, I had
Which was 1.
the blast charge that I threw had a base
Oh,
of
that's
2
true.
plus the blast. That's why
right.
I was
So
asking.
technically, that's right. Because
But I
it
just
was- it blew up-
double checked.
Yeah, it blew up
this
in
grenade does not.
engaged range, but it blew up in engaged
Yeah.
range, so that's an additional 1 success. So that actually is 3
Oh, yeah, there you go.
damage, right? All right, so this thing's gonna roll its armor.
The underbelly armor, right?
It is underbelly armor.
Yeah.
Still is. It's much less than the regular armor, but it is armor nonetheless. Here we go. That is 0 successes. this time.
Nice!
Yeah.
Finally!
Take it.
Yes.
Okay, so a grenade goes kaboom, and Benny, as you look backwards towards Herbie, Herbie's entire sort of white underbelly is just scorched and has this horrible green fluid that's leaking down. He takes 3 damage. Oh shit! Okay,
About time.
1, 2, 3.
Do we have any RC cars with C4 on them?
If you give Dot like 20 minutes,
We are really
possibly.
going hardcore into this trope. I'm loving it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, the thing makes this horrible sound of this wail that just emits out all the way through the entire ravine. It is now Dot's turn.
Dot is at this point hanging on for dear life. She is gonna reach into her pocket and grip her multi-tool, and as my slow action, I'm gonna reduce my stress level by 1.
Right on. Rip that multi.
Trying to save that, but she's getting her ass kicked. And I don't think there's really anything as a fast action that I can do right now. She's gonna grab the other blast charge from Bo just in case.
Right on. All right, Bo. You're out of. I think that you're out of blast charges now, right?
He is, although I'll probably give it back.
No,
I doubt
I've
I'm
got
gonna end
2
up using
more.
it.
You got 2 more?
Sorry, I dropped 1. I gave her 1, so there's 1 more.
Beautiful.
Oh, and I just took it.
Okay.
Yeah, take it.
So
And now
it is now Herbie's turn. Herbie is hurt. Herbie doesn't like getting shot at and blasted. Herbie sort of comes back down with a thud onto the ground, and then Herbie, with an absolute sort of whale-tail dive, just burrows beneath the surface of the ravine. There is a titanic shifting of the ground, and I think with that, folks, we are finally out of combat.
Yes.
As Dot is just like gripping the oh shit bar and Trina 2 going, I really hate this fucking planet.
That's a good place to take our very short break. So, don't go anywhere. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 5 minutes or so for whatever the hell happens post Herbie. See you guys in a little bit. Right, we are back. Thank you for staying with us for the final, I would say half an hour at the most, of our Alien RPG session. Yeah, Herbie's gone. I'm going to take him off the board. Oof. Bye, Herbie.
Bye.
Bye, Herbie. And I'm going to take Murphy.
I was
Not
waiting
nice
for
meeting you.
I was waiting for this to be the time in like the old arcade games when the boss changes the way he moves and attacks about halfway through the damage, and he just went away. So
Yep, that is correct. He just decided that he didn't want to play.
I got real
Gunnery
nervous.
anymore.
Now I feel better.
He digs under the ground and then he like this isn't even my final form. And then like sprouts wings and then flies up to where Clark is, who's just
Oh
like,
my God,
dust,
Yeah.
dust,
what if-
dust,
Yeah.
dust.
What if in like another 100 years he emerges as the world's most horrifying space
Oh.
butterfly?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
Mothra.
Now we know. Herbie is just a Mothra larva.
Also, Clark is definitely
Hey.
whistling as he's dusting these solar panels.
Okay. So, Benny, you now notice that you don't really necessarily need to get that shock prod because Herbie's gone.
You should find it though
He-
now.
Yeah, that'd be
great.
hilarious. Make an observation roll, Benny. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see Benny get an
Let's see.
actual, like, get a success.
Success.
Of course you do.
Benny looks down at where he's hiding, and it's right there in front of him.
Holy shit. This game couldn't get any better if we had written it ourselves.
Penny just runs out like, I got it, and then
It's literally right there. He looks down at his feet where he's hiding, and it's right there.
He's like standing
And he's
on
like,
it.
He's
son of a
standing on it.
bitch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Son of a bitch.
Amazing.
But he's taking it with him. He's absolutely taking that son of a bitch with him.
Hell yeah.
So.
It's a big old prod. I'm not going to lie.
It's like,
These things are-
10 feet long.
Yeah, it's a big old, because these things are, they're big, right? These harvesters, right? They're about 20, 30 feet tall when they raise up. So yeah, the shock prods they're long. But remember, it's
But
not
yes,
about
I
the
use
size
it.
of the shock prod, it's what you do. The next thing that, yeah. So what do you want to do with that, Benny?
He's gonna carry it out with him, and he's gonna,
Put it over your shoulder?
yeah.
Yep, makes sense.
And then he's gonna, I guess, move and try to. Well, they're in a vehicle, but he's gonna yell at his
Savages it.
mom. He's
Yeah.
gonna yell at his mom, like, "Hey!"
Ah,
Well, he's gonna yell at her. He's gonna be like, "We need to get power back going. I'm gonna follow them up." And he's gonna take off after them.
Okay, she just puts her hand on the glass. And you know she's just like, stay safe.
My baby.
in what manner does she put her hand on the glass? Is it Titanic in the car, in the garage?
I really hope not.
No, that is wow. We are definitely going in a different direction.
I was
thought.
gonna say I thought he was gonna jump Wrath of Khan on that.
Yeah, I think it's more Wrath of Khan than
Yeah.
Titanic.
I just wanted to check,
steamy
you know?
window. Yeah, no.
Both of them never let go.
Ooh, wow, dude. Wow. Okay. Savage, you watch as Dot and Tucker rev by on a different Daihotai tractor. Well, that's a little bit more downtrodden, certainly looking than Trina. And I don't know where you want to drive this fucking thing, Tucker, but you determine. You say where.
Come back.
I would love to continue wheeling this thing because if we're peeling out and screaming at each other inside the cab, that's the quote, right?
Oh my god!
As we are busy screaming at each other, I would not have noticed that this thing went back underground. So I'm just gonna keep moving right towards the lift tower and pulling right up to it and chugging it along. So that we can try and take
Okay.
the elevator up and join people.
I am okay with that. You guys can move your thing to. This tab keeps.
Rickety, take your mustering lollygag and let's lollygag it out of here.
Oh my! There's a
And then-
comment for you in chat. there.
Yeah, I read that comment. I won't. I don't know if I should say this out loud to you folks because I feel like maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't.
I mean,
Put it
sure.
out there.
Sure. The comment made in chat, just for those of you who may not necessarily have access to chat, is, and I'm going to tell you who actually said it, so you can send all your hate mail there. Is Australis Play says, if I spend 9,500 channel points, Matt, can I make Herbie come back with his father Herbert?
No.
There you go. There you go,
I'm
Australis.
down, but
Can
you know
we?
that's up to Matt.
I'm going to go ahead and say we'll see.
For
Oh,
the
dear.
sake of efficiency, Matt, since we're
Very
taking 10
DM answer.
and committing to our whistling tasks, can Tucker drop everybody at the lift and then if I notice that Herbie's no longer making noise, can I try and take this thing on the last few legs back to Trina
Oh,
so
God.
I can just get her repaired and get us all back to our ship while they're summoning the ship? Multitask.
I mean, that might take some time, but that sounds like a great plan.
Number of rounds you're willing to give me if I can use the 6 to get where I need to go.
So let's just map this out, right? Because some of these things may take longer than 6 rounds, right? So dropping them off is pretty easy, right? That would probably take you on the order of 30 seconds. Just drop them down,
One more
run them on
round.
down to the lift tower,
2.
turn around, come back, go back to the mines.
Yeah.
Try to find Trina in the mines. This is the big question mark.
Yeah, how
Didn't
far
see-
down did it go? Is there any way?
No clue. Have you been inside the mines?
I gotta get her back, guys. It's the only way we can explore these planets safely without all of our air tank problems going on right now. You good? You good? Where's
Swallow
Bella?
it.
What the
That
fuck
was the
happened?
last sentence
you
Bo ever spoke.
I mean,
Well,
realistically,
don't
question: if there are
be-
pieces falling off the vehicle, how much Trina is visible versus how far could Herbie have carried it?
You don't know.
Okay, is there a way? Is there a role that I can assess that with?
I think that you could probably go down to the mines area, turn the lights on your current tractor, and see if you can spy down into the mines themselves with an observation roll.
I think that it would be
I
cheaper
would
and
love that.
safer to hire a professional and talk about this.
Sure,
Work
I
through
am a
your issues.
professional.
So,
I
you
will-
built Trina, right? You made her what she is?
Yeah, but
is?
this one's about to break, so I need
Yeah,
a.
I know, but I'm saying you can build another Trina.
But that one had
We
all my
can't
stuff
build-
in it.
Yeah, well, you have all of you in you, and we need you more than we need Trina.
Listen, Asgard's not a place; it's a people. I
Oh
feel
my
like Trina
god, you
is-
made a reference that I...
All right,
Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
fine. I'm gonna drop people off, and I'm gonna see what important mechanical gear and disassemblable pieces can I get it to the landing pad so that I can begin disassembling anything that looks survivable from this 150-year-older Trina wreck before it collapses.
Yes, I would say so, yeah.
Same amount of turns.
Yeah.
Fuck off on me for a while.
Exactly, yeah. If you don't mind.
Red just said, "What if I spent 10 times the amount?"
I know.
Yeah, I
There's a
saw
bidding war on.
Mm-hmm.
How
Oh my
fast
God.
we're gonna
Oh
die?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
guys.
Red has the points. He could do it.
Red does have the points, but does he want to be hated for all time?
Yes, he does. He's a dungeon
Dude,
master.
I know.
I'm like, have you
We feed off of your hatred.
This is rough.
Red.
I don't know.
That's why I
about that.
piss Matt off.
Well,
for camera
Red, I will-
entertainment.
That's just because I love you.
I
But
love you too.
yeah, it's
Infamous is just as good as famous.
oof. Tell that to some people.
Okay,
who I
Roxy
know.
Hart.
Yeah.
Red, I have a particular set of skills. I will come out there to Australia
Oh
and I
my
will
God.
hunt you down.
Dude is a Marine. Then again,
It's like,
Red
except
has.
yeah, Ben actually does have those skills.
Ben does have the skills, but does he have the ability to take on all the wildlife that's out there that will absolutely fucking kill you in real life?
We're
He
not
Probably
probably
not.
knows people.
They have gators.
well.
They
We're
have-
not here to be fucked by leggy spiders.
There are lots of
No
leggy
leggy
spiders
spiders.
out in Australia. I'm not gonna
Speak
lie.
for yourself, Bo.
Plus, I don't have the money for the ticket, so Red's safe for now.
There you go. But when I win the lottery,
There we go.
Indeed.
$1
All right,
and a
let's
drink,
get back to the game because
$2
we
and a
got
drink.
about 20 minutes left here, folks. Let's see if
Yes,
we can
let's
scooch a little bit forward in the plot. All right, so you drop off Dot and you drop off Savage and you head on back there, Tucker, Shabby Shabby, and make your way to the mines. The mines.
No, just a landing pad.
Just a landing pad, yeah, which is like blackened with fire and absolutely destroyed from some kind of grenade attack. You don't know how that happened.
I have
It's a
absolutely no
bonfire
idea
to
how
signal
that
the ship.
happens. Yeah, totally. It was on
Yeah.
purpose.
What happened?
Whatever.
But you drive by the landing pad. You're gonna leave the Trina 2, shall we call her at this point in time? At
I'm
the
going to
landing-
start disassembling the worthwhile parts.
Okay. Fair enough. That will take a heavy machinery roll. Let's see how well you do.
Great news. I forgot to use it earlier, but I get extra heavy machinery because of
Maintenance jack.
Sheila.
Yeah.
So that is a heavy machinery of 8,
Oh
baby.
shit, that's pretty nice. And no panics.
Because this is what I'm good at. I'm not
Nice.
good at stressful aliens.
You're good at machinery.
And
Potential
You're good at
steps.
Trina,
Thank
nothing
you.
else.
+1 to a later related roll. Don't need to roll again for the exact situation. Half the usual time. Break it permanently. Be quiet or show off.
Half the time.
Question for Matt.
Hmm?
How much is a Daihote like a Jeep?
Not really.
Well, insofar as the acronym Jeep, right? Just express essential parts. The idea that it is disassemblable, reassemblable fairly easily with
I
a bunch
didn't
of lug
even
nuts.
know that it meant.
That's the whole thing.
Neither-
So the whole thing about Jeeps,
Neither
this is
did
fun
I, and I
side tangent,
drive a Jeep.
is that Jeeps got the nickname because they were labeled on the box as such, because the idea was the reason it's just the fuck it hold on bar, the wheels, and the fucking rim is that it was made, I believe, for the military in the 40s and the 50s.
It was made in for
Yeah.
World War II. Yeah.
For World
Yep.
War II, specifically so that you could just ship a box and Lego your own vehicles in rough terrain. And the acronym became the word, as happens a lot in the last 70 years.
Wow.
My
You can
question
assemble
about
a Jeep
this...
in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
I did not know this, Ben.
I did not know that.
You guys are dropping knowledge bombs on me like crazy tonight.
Open the crate in 5 minutes. It's running.
Jesus.
Nice.
Okay.
Now that I have militaristic backup of my idea, how much of a Daihotai
Yeah.
could I feasibly, knowing how the mechanics work in that sense, knowing what is strippable and not strippable, knowing this thing is old, but I know what parts look good,
Yeah.
could I potentially salvage parts instead of the existing stunts and get more gear to trick out my next Trina over long rest?
I don't mind it. I think that that's kind of cool, right? You're using a resource, which is not necessarily immediately meant for it by game rules per se, but I will accept the exchange. I will accept the exchange. I will say yes.
And I
And
will
I
let
would
you
say that even
decide.
qualifies as showing off. So there you
Fair.
go.
I will be perfectly fine with that. Red
I
I would
Plat-
also say, forget gameplay. Let's have more military facts. I'm very interested.
Let's talk about World War II. This is our World War II chat stream. Hey, everyone.
No plan survives contact with Herbie.
We had another redemption in chat, and it's
Oh,
from our
God.
friend Red. It's a positive one. It says, give a... Yes, exactly, from
Earning
Red.
points back.
God damn it! Yes, he just spends 25,000 points, kills a
Of
character.
course it is.
Red says, give a PC a random piece of gear.
Do I find shit?
So Tucker, please roll a
Tucker
D8.
finds
Yeah,
shit.
Tucker finds something.
Nice.
Let's see what he
What's
finds
in the
as
wheel
he
well?
is stripping the vehicle, as Red says.
It's going to be drugs.
It's
I was,
always
no, I was
drugs.
hoping it's alcohol for masters and
It's like candy bar.
my
It's
first
candy
character's
bars,
sake.
drugs, and alcohol. This is what this game is really
Yeah.
This
based
game
on.
is all candy bars. D10.
Hopefully space.
D8.
D8. That's a 6, baby.
All right. Let's go. You got a 6, and that is... roll a D9.
D10 minus 1.
Or just a D9.
Just type /R1D9.
Mm-hmm.
Three.
A 3
The number of the counting.
is 3. 5 is right out. Okay. Oh, this is good. As you pull the hood off the tractor, you see a pair of binoculars inside.
Cool. Going in the inventory.
Nice.
So binoculars give you a +2 to observation. How do you like that?
Better than drugs.
No wonder this thing wasn't working correctly when we pulled out of the garage. It doesn't go there.
These binoculars go on this side.
Amazing.
What's the weight on binocs? Quarter?
A 1/2.
Or half?
Half.
Half. Okay.
Yep.
Still under encumbrance now that the charges are gone.
Good. All right. So Tucker, you're going to take some time to strip Trina 2 and hopefully get something out. Let's go back up to top. Clark, you just
Whistling, and
dusting,
wiping.
and polishing. So we'll give like a 10-minute countdown. You'll probably finish by the time we finish tonight. Dot, Savage, and Benny, tell me what you're doing. Let's go in order.
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs. Dot, you reach the top of the stairs. You see a rather chipper-looking Chesterton Clark, oblivious potentially to the horrible happenings of the last 5 to 6 minutes.
Oblivious by choice.
Oblivious by choice.
Mhm.
And just dusting off with his gloved hand a number of these solar panels.
That just kind of shakes her head and says out loud to no one in particular, "That guy is so weird." And then she's going to make her way towards the comms array to go check it out and see what the situation is inside.
Is she close enough for Chesterton to hear?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, when I say
Chest-
that? Yeah, probably. She's a teenager. She has no filter.
Chesterton pauses momentarily, looks in her direction with no particular expression on his face, and then just continues about his business.
It's like motionless almost. Strange.
Okay.
Does Benny have a gun?
I don't know. Benny has a big old prod that he is hiking over his shoulder, right, Julie?
Finally.
Right.
But that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Benny was. I mean, he's a
doesn't have a weapon.
teenager. I don't think his parents would want him to have a gun.
They did not trust him with that. That's because he doesn't have cool parents.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, you know,
he really doesn't. He has horrible parents.
He does have
in
horrible
this
I mean,
tracks.
really, true.
Let me see what Benny has in his inventory. Bloody wrench. Oh, sorry. Spoilers.
no bloody wrench.
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay,
It
so
just says murder weapon. I
Yeah,
don't know.
murder weapon. I don't know why.
I'm gonna hand Benny the Armat 12 gauge that I have.
Okay. I will go onto Benny's character sheet and add the shotgun.
That was the
Thank
judgiest okay I've ever heard.
Okay.
Benny
It's
just
the
looks at him.
murderer a gun, but okay.
It's time to learn.
Benny looks at him and
For all
takes
of
it
us, apparently.
and slings it across his back and is like, thank you.
Fingers straight off the trigger. Don't shoot me.
This is
Just
fair.
you?
Shit.
Just you?
Well, I think you've already taken down the one person you wanted to take down. So aim at the bad guys, not at us.
And the telenovela continues.
I know. It's
There we
just
go.
He gets
shifted
a-
shifted casts.
He looks at you and just kind of gets a sly little smile on his face, like,
So is the lift like? Is there an actual enclosed part to the lift,
Yeah, I'm
or
gonna.
is it just like open air?
It's open air and it's just stairs and the elevator, which is not functioning clearly.
Well, I mean, is the elevator at the bottom?
Yes, the elevator is at the bottom.
Is it an enclosed elevator?
It is
or
an
open air
enclosed.
elevator?
It is an enclosed elevator with a sort of a grate door.
Okay.
GRATE door, like one of those doors that you slam sideways, and it's got
Gotcha.
like a mesh front.
This sounds like Savage is looking for a nap pod somewhere.
Yes.
He's
So
looking
he's
for a safe space to recover from stress.
Yeah.
I don't blame
Yeah,
him.
he's gonna step
Maybe a crime.
inside. He's gonna make sure that there's no leggy snakes in there,
Good idea.
and he's gonna close the gate,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna take a knee, and he's gonna wait for the adrenaline shakes to wear off, and hopefully reduce the stress.
Okay. In 10 minutes, we'll come back, and by the end, I think we'll have you reduce the stress. Benny, you watch the Marine go inside, and seemingly take a breather of some kind. And then you look at
Watch
this
the Marine cry.
12 gauge shotgun that he's given you.
Maybe light a cigar.
You can't smoke it. You got your helmet on.
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
Just
Put it-
lights it.
bang it
all.
Just
against my
lights it and
helmet.
just punk.
Yep.
Damn it.
opens up the helmet, doesn't light it, so he sticks it in his mouth, closes the helmet, and just chews on the end of it.
It just sees like, even better, like lights it, sticks it inside, and just
Yeah.
sees a ring of smoke inside the
Hot
helmet.
boxes. Oh god, that would be the worst smelling
Oh.
suit ever.
Oh, no.
It does feel like a Leslie Nielsen Naked Gun bit, though.
Mhm.
It
sure
does,
does.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Naked gun in space.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so Benny just kind of slings the shotgun over his back and then follows Dot to the comms array area.
So you're gonna climb up the stairs.
Yeah.
You climb up the stairs while Savage is at the lower portion of it. Clark is again dusting and follows into the comms array.
Maeve's highlighted comment, I assume, is to the tune of Benny's got
Benny's
a
got
gun.
a
Yep,
gun.
Benny's
Oh,
got
yeah.
a gun. Whole world's come undone. Here, let me
Yeah.
see if I can find the comms array. There it is. Okay. So, the comms array is a rather small and squat building. It's only 1 floor tall. The door to the comms array, although you can't, it's not powered, right? Because there's no power in the facility. You can manually sort of heave it open, which you're able to do. The two of you stumble inside the comms array and see
Is it a slide or a swing?
It's a slide. So, and then as you slam it shut.
Probably no leggy snakes in here. I don't think they come open doors, but and she kind of like pulls out her multi-tool and flicks open the knife
Mm-hmm.
and just has it in her hand just in case.
That's fair. You spy a sort of main terminal with a view screen and keyboard. It looks sort of like a very basic version of a Mother 9000 unit, or even a 6000 unit.
Does it say, do you want to play a game?
It doesn't say that, although if you power it up, who knows what it's going to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it looks like on the inside.
Okay. Having seen Chesterton cleaning off the solar array, she's gonna sort of look around and see if there is like a power reset switch or something in here to get the power back on in the comms array now that the panels are clear.
Okay,
Or partially clear.
that's fair. Let me just check something.
Now I'm getting big Jurassic Park vibes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. We do have the 2 teenagers alone in the comms array. So.
Follow the conduit above your head.
As long as we're not eating Jello.
Yep. Reading something. Okay. If you remember, there are 2 ways of providing, well, 3 ways technically, of providing power to the facility.
Mm-hmm.
One is the solar panels, where you guys are currently. Across the way, on the northern field node, are sort of a number of mini windmills.
I forgot about these guys.
Mm-hmm.
The windmills clearly have been, churning because of the wind and dust that had picked up from the storm. So it doesn't make sense to you that if it has a backup facility, right? If the field pylons and all of the facilities' power is down, why wouldn't the mini mill field be supplying power to the facility? Sort of an interesting thought.
Yeah.
Must be some sort of disconnect. Something got damaged that converts this.
Well, I'm going to
the
turn
wind
because
power.
technically Benny
Or it's
lives
diverting
here.
power to something else.
Correct.
So having him here with me, I will say, "Hey, Benny. I'm guessing that."
Oh, sorry,
solar
I'm not
field-
Ben anymore. That's Julian. My
Yeah,
fault.
exactly. So you're gonna have to tell Benny what he knows.
Okay,
but,
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so she looks at him. She doesn't really want to talk to him right now, but also need help. Not going to be crazy like his family. She's just like, Benny. The solar
Yeah.
panels are dirty, so there's no solar power. Why don't we have any wind power?
There must have been like wires got loose somehow or something, but I thought the wires all went under the ground, so that doesn't really make sense unless something somehow got into there. And
You mean like a giant worm who can tunnel through the ground
So
and eats things?
I'm gonna aid you a bit.
I
here. I'm gonna aid you a bit here.
yes,
Julie.
please.
So Benny's not like super technical. The person who is the most technical between all of the different families is Diego Marino. Diego has been the one who's been sort of able to fix things when they're broken and tell you exactly what's happening. you're a nerdy kid, but you're just not like good with your hands per se. You liked Herbie, and you and he had sort of maybe over time you knew he was just a horrible, like, wild animal that was essentially fenced in. But you spent more time, honestly, by yourself and with Herbie than with your parents, for sure. Especially after you found out about Violet. And in one instance, and only one, when one of these dust storms came sort of thundering through the facility, maybe when you were a little younger, you remember Diego saying that the power to the facility, when it wasn't run by the nuclear reactor in the basement, is run by these field nodes, right? So the field nodes, one on the north side and one on the south side, are filled with all of the different mechanical and circuit machinery that conduits all the power from these different places into the base itself, into the facility. So if there's anything wrong with the mini
It would show up
mills,
there.
it would be at the field node. Same thing here. I mean, the solar panels are very
Yeah.
clearly dusty as fuck.
Mhm.
But if there's a problem, even after it's cleared off the solar panels, it would be at the field node.
So that's what he's going to tell her is like, we need to check field notes if we're going to get anything fixed, because maybe it's just something simple. Maybe we just need to hit reset or something.
Maybe there's
I'm
a
not
button
really,
labeled
I'm not really the tech
fix.
guy. I'm not really the tech guy, but maybe it's something simple. We just
Fix it.
hit
Well,
reset.
fortunately for you, I know my way around a computer.
It's like when
and,
Windows pops up and it says troubleshoot issue. It always fixes
Yeah.
it.
Little-
Google the
Or it
problem.
is.
Yeah,
And
there's
she
a
kind of she
little
looks
paperclip that pops up.
Yeah.
Hey, I see that you're having a problem. Can I help?
she looks across
So
the
we should
ravine.
go to that next. We should go to that. Well, there's one on this side here. We should try that one first,
Yeah,
and then
I know.
and
I
then
was
the other.
looking to see if it looked damaged. And then she looks over at like the two lists and she's like, and yeah, obviously, I need a few minutes before I do those stairs again. And we'll exit and head to the
Dot
field
got
node.
feisty.
Seriously. Super dotty.
Dot has
Dot-
been through a lot today.
Dot needs a snack.
Dot needs some
Do you need a-
napoli.
If
Do you
only
need
we
a
had
juice box
candy
and some
bars.
goldfish?
She needs a candy bar. She's not herself when she doesn't have her candy bar.
Is she a diva?
She's
Have a Snickers.
she's not herself when she's at a stress level 6 and has
Somebody's
seen
hangry.
someone get eaten by a monster.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
She's 14.
I got a fortune. It doesn't talk to me like that. Whatever.
Benny is
traumatized
not
him
my
yet.
dad.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, Benny's
just
like
another
what, 16,
person.
15?
Yeah,
This kid
Benny's
had
my
some
like
popcorn
Benny
and a
to
Hershey
me
bar.
like we're on the same level. Except
Yeah.
actually she kind of thinks
Benny's
Benny
like
is a
only-
lazy fucking miner because they had an alien creature do all their work and didn't risk themselves at all.
Yeah.
So she kind of like she already disliked these people
Fair.
once she kind of saw how they work
Fair.
after what she's been through.
I mean, fair assessment of him.
Okay.
Also, she's 14. There's a lot of black and white when you're 14.
Let's just go ahead and, since we are very close to finishing,
Yes.
let's
yes,
go ahead
yes.
and say three things occur in short order. Number
Oh
one,
fuck.
Savage, you, the 10 minutes elapse and you get your 1 point of stress out
Yes.
because you've taken your short break in the elevator chassis. Clark, you finish your dusting of the solar panels. They are 90 to 92% dust free. You think that that's an
My
adequate
Swiffer
percentage?
Completely full of dust.
Exactly. Tucker,
Yep.
you complete your how do you want to call it? Strip of the second Daihotai tractor.
Okay. Stress go down?
I would say yes, the stress goes down. Clark, you've spent 10 minutes doing something super unstressful, so I'd say your stress goes down 1.
Love that.
I mean, if there's nothing else, like,
Can I alleviate stress by being a bitch to Benny? Can my stress go down one?
No, but I'll give you experience points for it.
Oh,
Especially if you make Benny your rival. Yes. Okay. Cool. So, with that said, Dot and Benny, you head into the field node, which channels now power from the solar panels into the rest of the facility. Yeah? Cool. Dot, as you enter the space, you see there's a set of lights on the wall that are blinking.
okay. Red is bad, but light means power.
That's got power.
And she'll sort of walk over to where the lights are and see if there's like a display or anything that indicates what the flashy red lights mean.
Yeah, it's a terminal. It says restore power. Question.
I mean, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Do you type Y or do you type yes?
She probably just types Y.
That's fair. I'm going to go ahead and say that it's not just a simple like yes, no, check the box kind
Yeah.
of switch. You actually have to do a
Contact?
Comtech roll to enter in the command that will allow you to restore power to the facility.
All right, let's do this. No
Okay.
successes.
No successes and
With
2
all
panic.
those fucking dice.
It's a lot. So yeah, you
Yeah,
type in
well,
like the first
I'm
command, it
stressed.
does nothing. You do the second nothing, and Benny, you just
You
watch
type
as
Y. it doesn't
Dot
work.
just
Oh,
slams
for
her
fuck's
hand.
sake, seriously?
Dot slams her hands down on the cover of this terminal, and the thing makes this horrible shrieking noise. Dot runs and dives just as an instinctive action under a tarp. And Benny, you go up in stress by 1,
Ooh, but mine goes down by 1.
but yours goes down by 1. Dot.
Oh, it did. It did itself. Okay.
Ugh. My roll 20 just froze.
That's okay.
There's a reason Dot is my rival.
Wow.
This is why.
So
Fucking
Might have-
children.
I
That's
might have to make you my buddy just to annoy the shit out of you.
So
Might
Benny,
be fun.
I know you're not. I don't know if you're back in roll 20 or not. It's okay. If you're not, that's fine.
It won't let me close it out. If you could roll for me, that'd be
I can
great.
certainly do so. Don't
Benny
blame
wants
me
to-
for the results, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
Where's the fun in
what
that?
happens. Yeah,
Where's the fun in that?
Comtech.
Okay, so this will be a Comtech roll. Benny will take place in a or take part in a Comtech roll, attempting to turn the power back on. Benny has 3 in Comtech. Not bad.
Okay.
Yeah. That is 2
And I
successes
was
and a
using-
single panic. He will then roll his panic die. Stress level is 3.
Highest you can get with that is an 8, I think.
It should be an 8. That's correct.
Or
No,
yeah.
9. A 9.
9.
But Benny keeps it together. And Benny, with a flurry of typing and a flourish on the return key, you hear. In fact, I think I have a sound effect. Holy shit! Can I maybe? Hold on.
Probably staring at Dot while he hits the intercom.
Your sound effect sounded like the Death Star. But
As you watch, the lights across the facility begin to come up slowly but surely. You see lights in the main buildings. They are flickering to life. As they do so, you see sort of sparks of electricity begin to peel off from the broken buildings and smashed buildings. But you now see lights everywhere. Lights on the elevator that powers to life as you sit in the bay of it, Savage. Lights on the opposite lift tower. Lights in the greenhouse. Lights in the various warehouses and vehicle bays.
does it sound like they do in the movies, but not in real life, where it's like, ka-ch, ka-ch,
Yes.
ka-ch,
That
even
is
though that's not
exactly correct.
Realistic.
Yes. I love that.
From underneath the tarp, Dot says, it would probably be a good idea to divert power from the buildings that are busted so we don't start a fire. Just saying.
Two things occur. This is where we're going to stop for tonight. I think everybody hears Dot saying that. To divert power of some kind would be a positive idea. Here's what I think you note, Clark, as you are up there on the ravine and sort of you have a really great vantage point of the entire entire horizon thereabouts. You sort of scan the entirety of the facility and its surrounding environs, and you see that the facility itself is surrounded by field pylons. There's no like wires between the pylons, but the pylons are all lit up, which in your understanding means that they are powered up and therefore have some kind of energy or electricity. You remember correctly, the field pylons were utilized to defend the facility against attacks from, as it was referred to, space locusts.
Yes, I remember.
And leggy
this.
snakes.
And leggy
Yes.
snakes. Although it seems that
Well,
they're
not 100% effective.
Yeah, they're
I
not
can say
not as
from my
effective.
personal experience.
Yeah, in the words of Pokemon, it's not effective. But I think with field pylons, it was much, much more for the swarms of locusts, space locusts, that seem to be quite prevalent on this planet. So as you stare at these pylons, all one by one, going out circular around the facility.
What color is the light in these pylons?
White.
Is it white? Okay.
It's white. It's easily seen through the reddish dust as just sort of a whitish orange in your vision. You scan across the entirety of the facility, and you see that there are two pylons that are not lighting up. Why that is, you do not know.
Which ones?
Suspicious.
The two pylons are directly above the Parks and Marino house. They are sort of across the way. I'm pinging them now. Hopefully you can see.
I can see.
Yeah. I think what's much more disturbing to you, Clark, is that beyond the reddish dust that you spy just floating between you and, well, everything. And as you spy out hundreds of feet towards the pylons, you see something in the vast mile or 2 mile long distance beyond the pylons. And it looks like a cloud.
Nope.
But the cloud, it's moving. And when I say it's moving, it's not moving like a cloud at all. It's moving much more in a way that like a flock of birds would move.
Or a swarm of something.
It undulates, it coalesces and then disperses. It has sort of long splinter fragments or tentacles of this that sort of reach out, encircle, and then come back. It does, in fact, look like a very large swarm of something. You surmise almost immediately. Number one, this is most likely space locusts. Number two, if your distance calculations are correct, this swarm of space locusts is over 10 miles wide.
Wow.
But it's only about, I don't know, 3 miles away. If your calculations in your mind are correct, and they usually are, that means you have an hour before the space locusts arrive.
If my math is right, and it always is.
Always is. So I think, I don't know how you feel about this, Clark. You're very methodical. You're very mathematic. You're not very emotional unless things go very, very due south. How do you feel about what you see? Let's end with that thought process.
I think Clark sees what's coming, sees the pylons, has put together the idea that because the circle is not complete, that we are not protected at all, which is what he feared from the beginning when he started his mission, his single-minded mission to get here and get to where we're at. His biggest fear has come true. And he is probably more afraid now, I think, than he has been on the entirety of his time on this planet. And we will not know what he decides, but he has run through the many different scenarios of what he could do, what we all could do to try to survive the oncoming death and terror that is careening towards them. And he is trying to decide what now.
What now, indeed? I think it's a good place to stop. Okay, folks, it's been a pleasure for the past a little bit over 2.5 hours, but I think that's where we're going to stop for tonight, and we will pick up. We will pick up in June. The last one in May, so we'll pick up in June sometime. We will see each other again then. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to our amazing sponsors. Thank you to my amazing cast of players, without which I would be utterly bereft and have no way of expressing this this amazing story. Thank you, of course, to you who have been watching in chat. Thank you. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a sub if you like what we're doing. Come on to our Discord, say hi, and tell us what we could do better. I always love constructive feedback. Always appreciate it. Until we see each other again, folks, remember, take care of each other. Don't forget, take care of yourselves. See you guys in a month's time with more Alien RPG. Bye for now.